What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Neeks Sports. This is the Neeks Sports podcast, episode 73. And we're going to be revisiting our predictions because some wild predictions have been made. And we're only 7 games in. Who said Núñez are going to score more than Haaland? Who said Liverpool are going to win the Premier League? I mean, things have been said and things need to be answered for. And we're going to do that today. We're going to talk Southgate. We're going to talk World Cup and much, much more. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Here we go. Here with the gang, Jay, Kyle, Ramsey, Nat. What's everyone saying?
Not too bad. Not too bad.
Yo,
Just suffering some technical difficulties at the moment.
I got some technical difficulties too, but
all these tech guys, all these technical difficulties, supercomputers. Just do that. Pull up a phone in your bathroom. and get the
There's only one problem with that, mate. My phone don't work, mate. You won't be able to hear me.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Gone are the days where I had the terrible signal and couldn't connect.
Wait, Nat, where are you? Are you at home?
Yeah.
How you signal so good? Are you on the 4G or something?
new phone.
New phone, Wi-Fi, get me new hairstyle.
Oh, sorry. I meant to press this. I want to see the hairstyle.
So I got the little zigzag. Can you see it?
I see.
Yeah.
I don't have the zigzag, but man, doing that.
Alright, looking good still.
Was it new hair day?
Bad hair
Nah.
day.
Bad hair day.
Bro, what's your hair, man?
Mate, trim. I stole the fresh trim every 2 weeks. I'm there. Simple.
And then we got Kyle. Kyle's got it. Anyway,
Yo.
You know, I might just move you down there because you don't need to be seen. Well, listen. We're gonna get straight into it, innit? Podcast 73, and we're gonna start with the predictions. And we're gonna talk about some other stuff after that. So Southgate, England, all them kind of things. We've got North London derby, Manchester derby coming up this weekend, so we're gonna chat about that as well. And Sammy starts with us by saying Southgate is a genius. Well, we'll see if the panel agrees with that consensus. But just have a little recap on what we actually predicted. And there are rules around changing predictions. We know the rules because we say this every year. People try and skirt around the rules, but things were, what do we call it? What did you call it? The
Tyrant podcast.
Tyrant
podcast.
Because things can't just happen. Like, it has to be some order, innit? It has to be some order. Because certain man just gonna be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna put Haaland as top goal scorer. Like they didn't know Haaland was in the league when we made the first prediction. Like, come on, let's be real. But anyway, predictions. So this is what we had, or this is what we've got as it stands. Me, Jay, Ramsey, Kyle also having Man City win the league. Nat got Liverpool win the league as well as Bianca. No surprises, no prizes for guessing who they support. Everyone had Tottenham in the top 4 except Kyle, had them 5th. Everyone had Liverpool in the top 4. Everyone got Man City in the top 4. Arsenal was in the top 4 for everyone. The position was slightly different. 3rd for Kyle. Oh no, Bianca didn't have Bianca. Everyone on the panel had them in the top 4. Bianca,
I didn't.
Not Ramsey.
Oh, what a this guy's a
What a disgrace, isn't it?
What a
Disgrace.
I said
Disgrace.
and he doesn't have it, I'll tell
For
you.
good reason.
Oh, we'll see. Yes, that means the Chelsea one split then. Me and Jay got him outside, Nat got him out, Chelsea outside, but Ramsey, Kyle, and Bianca all got Chelsea inside the top 4. Nobody had Man United inside the top 5. Nat doesn't even have him in the top 6.
Man, them said Salah for Golden Boot. I'm screaming.
Why are you
I'm
screaming? Why are you screaming? Why are you screaming?
How much goals has he scored?
The man that eats golden boots for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I think it's a fair shout. It might be wrong.
He ain't been about for a while since January, but man's been checked out mentally.
Won the golden boot, but yeah. So just before we get to golden boot, the relegation. Bournemouth. Everyone had Bournemouth going down. Everyone but Kyle had Fulham going down, and then a mix and match of the others. Not Forest, Leeds, Everton.
I need to put Nottingham Forest in there. They're so bad.
Golden boot. Salah and Haaland are the shouts. 4 for Salah, 2 for Haaland. Golden glove. Alisson and Edison. Ramsey being Edison. And then we some of these we did actually off the pod. So then we got FA Cup, League Cup, Champions League, and Europa League. As you can see, bold prediction from the man Kyle himself. Man City winning the quad. That's what he predicted. Now, don't get it twisted. He predicted Man City to win the league, Man City to win the FA Cup, the League Cup, and the Champions League with Haaland as top goal scorer. He predicted it all. So
man said Europa's going Manchester as well. Yeah,
and the only reason not going Man City is because they're not in 2 competitions at once. I'm surprised he got Alisson as the golden glove. I'm surprised. But when we're doing these end of season markings, I will be marking Kyle what he predicted. A quadruple. Anything less, he's gonna be marked down. I don't want to hear, I got 1 out of 4 or 2 out of 4. When Liverpool got 2 out of 4 last year, we cussed them. So we're cussing you if you only get 2 out of 4. I'm just letting you know.
What? No. Great predictions.
Nah, talk the things, man. Tell him again.
Yeah.
What do you mean, great predictions?
No, you try to spread let me spread my eggs in the box. It's like doing an ACCA. You say, I'm gonna vote for all the favorites. Yeah, 7 out of 8 of them come in. All right, but you didn't win the ACCA. Because you predicted 8 out of 8. That's what you predicted. 8 out of 8 favorites. And you're not gonna get we'll see. You're not getting it. I'm saying it from now. You're already wrong. Hold that.
You're already wrong.
Yeah, but you're wrong as well.
Well, we have to wait and see it. I might be
No, you're wrong.
Why? Why am I wrong?
Because Salah ain't won golden boot.
He might. Man
said he might. He ain't outscoring Haaland. Haaland has to literally die for Salah to win.
We saw what happened to Eriksen.
Wow.
This guy.
Wow.
This guy.
Anything is possible. The season is not over. What's going on there?
Crazy.
And actually, speaking of Eriksen, we're also going to talk about the transfer window and who we think had the best transfer window this summer. Why did that? You already mentioned death. Why you mentioning death?
Because that's the only way anyone else will win it.
I mean, technically, if he gets injured, that's another way. But you went straight to death.
Yeah, because even when he's injured, he will still win it.
To be fair, the second coming of Eriksen is better than the first. So
it's true. But that's next season. Haaland's gonna be on 50, 60 goals next year when he comes back. But anyway, that's Javon's prediction that he dies. I'm just saying. Yeah.
I never said he's gonna die.
Why did you bring it out?
I said the only way Haaland loses the golden boot is if he dies. That's it. But he's not going to die.
Everyone's gonna die something. Can't get out of that easily.
Not now, anyway. He got a golden boot to win.
No, but the reality is, isn't it? Like anything can happen in football. Anything but Man City win the quad. Actually, we had this Man City quad thing. What was it, 2019? And I'm sure Ramon was like, "Yeah, Man City." Oh, actually, no, you're not still trying to say they won the quad because they won the Community Shield.
They did.
Formidable.
They did.
Yeah.
Formidable.
Won the quad.
They want a quid. Yeah, quid. But that's the predictions. At the moment.
So what? We won the treble last season.
What did you win?
The domestic double and the Community Shield. So that's a
You
treble.
won the Community Shield last year?
We beat Man City.
That's this
That's
season.
not.
That's the
Does
this
that count as
season.
this season?
Of course it
Does that
does.
count as this season?
Yes, it's this season.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does.
Oh well, whatever.
And-
So we're one trophy up already.
And if you won it last year, it's not the treble, it's the triple, the trio, the threesome. Why? Jose did it with the Europa League Cup. That's like the worst so-called treble of all time. The Charity Shield, the League Cup, not even the FA Cup. The League Cup. The only thing
And the league.
and the Europa League. The only thing that can make it worse is if you won the Conference League, the League Cup, and the Charity Shield. But
That would have been horrendous.
it wasn't around at that time. But listen, before we even get to the predictions, let's into the transfer window because we haven't. We briefly spoke when we talked about who can stop Man City. But who would we say, especially when it comes to the top 6 sides, were the winners and losers of the transfer window? So who do you think had the best transfer window out of the top 6?
Ooh.
I think it's Spurs. You can't. I think Spurs have had the
Bro,
best.
we still going with that one.
Yeah.
That was like the early
Spurs.
July the 2nd because no one else has signed players. But at the end of the transfer window, you still think Spurs?
Yeah, because they got what they needed for their squad. They Basuma, Perisic, Richarlison, like that fits exactly what they needed. People were saying, how are they ever going to get another striker? How are they ever going to sign anyone else? Because they got Harry Kane. No one's ever going to want to go to Spurs because no one wants to be back up to Harry Kane. And then they went and signed Richarlison, Brazil's top striker at the moment. 17 goals for Brazil, same amount as Firmino in 17 games fewer. I mean, they signed exactly what they needed in that as a striker. They got a better left wing back in Perisic. Basuma's the one that everyone was talking about last year, the DM that a lot of people wanted around the Premier League. They got the young Jed Spence. They got Longley from Barcelona to improve their defense. Like,
Are you sure that's an improvement? I'm marking off for that signing there. Bro.
Longley, yeah, I think it will. I mean, they got Ben Davis, so they're improved.
Don't Ben Davis still start?
Well, as time will tell, won't it? Time will tell. He'll play. I mean, they've only got him on loan, isn't it? They've only got him on loan. And they signed Romero, didn't they? They paid the fee.
Oh no, I can't have that one.
They paid the fee. I mean, they paid the fee. He was on loan. He was on loan. They paid the fee.
But it wasn't an 18-month loan.
Yeah, and they paid it early.
Yeah. So, but he was already registered for this season from last season. So we're not adding that one in.
Well, I'm saying they paid it, innit? They paid it. Didn't they pay? Didn't they pay Kulusevski's one as well?
Yeah. But again, he was already registered for this season, last season. So they didn't sign him this season. They signed him last season.
Tell that to Daniel Levy when the money's not in his pocket. Like, I actually think they've had the best. I think they've had the best window. I think they've if I don't think Spurs, especially Spurs being Spurs, you don't expect them to have a window. That's probably the better than they've had for years in terms of getting exactly what they needed. There's always complaints. Oh, we should have signed this.
What
guy,
since they bring in
and
Dembele and them, man?
Like Kulusevski came in January, right? So it's an add-on from a good January of signing Kulusevski, which basically helped them to get Champions League. To improve on that, like they've had a steady last couple of the windows. Okay, Romero came the season before that, and they're going in the right direction. So, I think it's Spurs hands down. If I compare it, especially if I compare it to everyone else, I think it's Spurs. Yeah.
Anyone else?
Personally, I think it's between Arsenal and Man City. I genuinely do. Like Arsenal, they signed decent players and players in positions that they needed. I mean, some will argue they probably needed one more signing. That was probably another central midfielder. Central midfielder or holding midfielder, because when Partey don't play, it's a horror show for Arsenal. I say a horror show, but their win percentage is so much higher when he's playing than when he's not playing. So I feel like they needed another central midfielder, or at least a holding midfielder, or box to box, just someone in the middle of the park. But other than that, they have had. But you could say that for a lot of the teams. Like even though Spurs had a good window, there's still positions you could pick out. You can say, oh yeah, but they needed this or they needed that.
But I think they wanted a winger.
Who wanted a winger?
Arsenal, they tried to sign. They made a bid for Rafinha. They didn't get him.
Yeah.
And then late on the window, they were in talks with Wolves about Neto, but Wolves are asking for 50 mil and they didn't want to pay that. So they obviously wanted a winger, but it was too late. And I think the midfielder as well they wanted, but obviously they tried to sign Douglas Luiz 3 times in the last day, and they failed in that as well. So that's why for me it's not like I think Spurs got what they wanted, and I think Arsenal probably didn't overall.
No, I hear you. But I'm looking at it as more as less. I'm looking at it less like did everyone get what they want, and looking at it more like
how much did
what did you get, and how much has it improved your team, and how much of an impact have those players that have come in made to the team? And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, Arsenal's players, their signings have had so far had a bigger impact than what Spurs players have had. Like Basuma hasn't just walked into the team. Richarlison hasn't walked into the team. Like you're talking about buying a backup striker to Kane. If he's a backup player, he's a backup player. But as a squad, it might improve their squad. But as their first 11, like their first 11 is mostly the same as what it was last season. Like their team hasn't vastly improved. Like their quality hasn't vastly improved to what it has last year. Whereas I feel like Arsenal, their team has improved. You got Zinchenko as out on the left back, and so on and so forth. I just feel like Arsenal's team has improved. Jesus up top as another example. Like their dynamic is different to last season. They're playing better for it. Whereas at Spurs, I don't think their level has improved. They're playing at the same level as they were last season. And that's the same thing why I said it's between Arsenal and Man City, because Man City
on the Man City one, before you go into what they signed, they lost or they sold Sterling, Jesus, and Zinchenko. Does that not count against them in terms of how good their window is? Because, like, did they need to sell those players to sign Haaland? If the answer is yes, then fair enough. The team has improved by getting Haaland and selling those. But it's like you sold 3 good players, some of them starters, some of them not, to get 1 striker. Well, no, I won't say to get 1 striker, and got 1 striker.
I mean, but they signed more than they signed Akanji, they signed Calvin Phillips, they signed Haaland, they signed a few players. And when you look at it as a whole,
what are you talking about the first 11, bro?
No, we are. But he's talking about selling Zinchenko. Zinchenko is not a first team player.
Yeah, he is.
Cancelo was the left back and Walker was the right back.
True. Who's Akanji? Sorry, never heard of him, mate.
But what I'm saying is right, as him being so at centre back, then I've got Stones, they've got Diaz, this Akanji fella, so on and so forth, right? Laporte can also play at left back. So you're saying they sold Zinchenko, but Laporte can play at left back. Yeah, he can play left back.
He can play left back.
He can play left back.
You mean he's left footed?
No, he can play left back.
Ake's the left back that he will put there, if anything.
Yeah, no, I know.
They signed the left back.
What I'm saying is, they're not
Gomez guy.
They're not short of options. What I'm saying is they're not short of options. Like they've got a lot of. We're not questioning their ability. I'm just saying they're not short of options. So they may have sold certain players, but they also made signings, and we all know that Pep is no stranger to reshifting a player into a different position. So they've got the options. It's not like their team is weakened. If anything, they're stronger for it because of the quality of Haaland that they got up front.
They bought Alvarez as well.
That was in January. But to be fair, yeah, he was registered for. No.
Yeah,
they bought him in January. They loaned him back. So yeah, they signed him last year, so it doesn't really count for this window. But obviously, yeah, in terms of going to the season, they are stronger with Alvarez. That's true. But it's a cheat, and I'm not even saying you're wrong. But the Pep factor, whoever they sign, it's like, well, they signed that player in that position, and Pep will make it work. Like the player could be bad, but he makes it work. It's like, Spurs sign Richarlison, you're like, he's a squad player. Pep signs Richarlison, and it's like he'll make it work. He'll challenge Greenland. Like the press is so misleading. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. The one thing I would say about the Man City,
they lost that game, Sammy. I remember that game. Yeah, that was a bad decision to put in my left back.
Yeah, the one thing I'll say about the Man City selling of their players is the fact that like the money that they've got for them as well. Like they bought Raheem Sterling for what 60 mil, I think they're from Liverpool.
It was 50.
54, whatever. I sold him for 50 to Chelsea. So they've had him for 5 years, 6 years, maybe even longer. Like they've got their 50 million use out of him, and then still sold him for 50 mil. Like they've done well to get. I think it was in his last year. Jesus in his last year as well to still get 45 mil for that in his last year, and Zinchenko to make 130 mil back on those players. In a year's time, they're gone for like 50, 60 mil. I think like Arsenal, as an example, are a team that struggle to sell players. They buy them and always sell them for the cheaper. For Man City to buy Sterling for 50 mil. Excuse
me?
What?
Iwobi, Oxlade-Chamberlain? What?
Yeah, they're the rarities. The last 3 years, we've been trying to cancel man's contracts to get rid of them.
Yeah,
like
literally in the same position, bro.
But yeah, so I think, and obviously those guys are coming from, especially most of those guys came from our academy, Willock and Iwobi as well. But those to buy them and sell them at that, but if we bought something for 50 mil, there's absolutely no way we're selling them for 50 mil. No way.
If we buy something for 50 mil, we're losing them on a free. And we have to supplement their wages or something like that. It's mad.
Yeah.
It's mad.
And I think for them, like it was a good time for them to sell them. Sterling was getting a bit restless last year. Jesus could have still done a job, I think, and if they got him a new contract, he would have stayed.
You told me he was a miss. We all agreed it was a miss. Don't tell me you could do a job.
You could have done a job. You could have done a job.
What job? A bad job.
You could have done a job. I think if they kept, I don't think they would have wanted at the start of the winter to sell both. Jesus,
Gabriel is not a miss. He's a hit, clearly. Go on, say it with me, Ramon. Say it with me.
That was a bad signing for Man City. He was not a good player. Sorry, not for Man City. Not for Man City. He wasn't.
How much did they get him for? They must have got him for pennies.
20, 30? No, about 20, 30. Yeah.
So he's a hit at Arsenal, yeah?
So they bought him for 20, 30 and sold him for 50. They're nice, man.
I want to hear, is he a hit at Arsenal?
He started well.
So is he a hit?
He started well. I can't say that yet.
Is Gabriel hit Jesus a hit?
How many goals did he scored?
Sorry, is Gabriel miss Jesus a hit?
Gabriel Jesus is a good strike. He's a good strike.
Sorry, Gabriel miss Jesus, because that's what he used to call him.
Yeah,
is a good striker.
And you know what? He's still missing. He should be level with Haaland right now. But he's missing chances left, right, and centre. And
he's improved your team, no?
No, he definitely
has improved. He has improved. And I think
therefore he's a hit.
When we signed him, I understand why Arteta signed him. He literally fits the way Arteta wants to wants to press the game. Once he uses pressing game.
He's an upgrade on Lacazette.
Pardon?
He's an upgrade on Lacazette.
Yeah, he's an upgrade on Lacazette.
It's clear that Arteta preferred Lacazette through the middle than Aubameyang.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And like, obviously, I wouldn't say necessarily a better striker than Aubameyang. I think Aubameyang's probably a better striker, but just the way it was at Arsenal that last year was like, I mean, the man's got 3 goals in the first 6 months he was there before we got rid of him. So, like, he obviously wasn't working. He's improved the team and the way Arteta wants to play, I think. But, like, time will tell whether you can, like, at the end of the day, if we finish 5th, how much has he improved Arsenal? We were 1 point off 4th place last year. So if we don't finish top 4, how much has he really improved us? That's what we got to find. That's what we got to wait and see, innit? Then I'll tell you. I'll tell you what, Javan. If he gets us top 4, I will tell you he's a hit. Then, yeah.
He's a hit. He's a hit.
Yeah. I'm here.
No shouts for Liverpool on the transfer window. You signed a €100 million striker to replace Sadio Mane. What else did you do?
We got a loan midfielder.
Arthur.
We got a backup right back.
Oh yeah, that guy.
We can.
What's his name again?
Calvin Ramsey.
Yeah, that's it.
From Scotland.
Yeah.
Didn't they sign Calverho or something?
Carvalho. We completed his signing as well, but we signed him before.
Well, yeah, but he was registered after January the 31st, didn't it?
Yeah.
Is that because of his age?
So they tried to get him in January, and they couldn't agree a fee, if I'm correct.
Yeah, so they had to go to that
tribunal thing, and they agreed because of it. So he was out of contract, but they have to pay a fee because of his age, and he came through the Fulham.
Yeah.
But
who's your replacement for Minamino goals?
And
Minamino. Minamino will get into your team. But anyways,
Nunes scored today.
So what are you saying? Bad window for Liverpool.
It was okay. It wasn't great. It was just
I think it was a bad window.
I feel like
go on.
I feel like it would have been better if Klopp actually stopped being stubborn and realized that we needed a midfielder sooner than he did. Because if he did, I feel like we could have found a much actual midfielder that could be
I don't
good
even
for
think that's on Klopp, you know.
It is.
I think FSG just didn't want to spend the money, and then obviously Klopp is going to back the board and be like, "Yeah, he's fine, he's good," and then they see that it's actually not good and garbage, so they go out and try sign something at the end of deadline day, because that's the only thing that makes sense. Because a manager will know what his team needs, and if he's not, and if it's like, you know, getting blood out of stone with them, man, then I can see why he said we have everything we need.
I think what happened was, I think he wanted a midfielder. So first you don't wanted Tchouaméni, and Real Madrid got him over you. You had
he's so sick.
I know you had the Champions League final, which was that was the playoff for Tchouaméni. Whoever won the Champions League gets Tchouaméni. So you lost on both counts. And
seriously.
Well, that was the talk. Because he was supposed to sign for Liverpool. Real Madrid won the Champions League, and he signed for Real Madrid. Now he may want to sign anyway. I don't know, but that's the narrative we're running with. Then Bellingham is obviously who you want as well. So basically, there's two midfielders that he did want, and he knew that he wanted, that you weren't able to get this summer. But I think what he thought was, well, if we don't get Tchouaméni or Bellingham, we can make do with what we've got. Then he worked out, we can't make do what we got. Not that I don't want a midfielder, but I'm not desperate for one. Then he realized later, you know what? I actually am desperate for one. And that's when they went out.
I'm no football expert, yeah.
Because I think, what I was going to say, I think even if it was earlier in the window, he wouldn't have spent the Bellingham money or the Tchouaméni money, so to speak, because it would have still been probably a loan, but maybe one that was more scouted, one that was more thought of, as opposed to Arthur at the last minute.
Yeah, I'm no expert, yeah, but I could look at that squad at the beginning. I'll answer that in a minute. But I was going to say, I can look at that squad and know that we needed a midfielder. Like, everyone's always injured. It's really frustrating. We're coming to play a big game, and then a guy that's been informed the whole season, like Thiago, will come do the warm up. Boom, he's injured. Like, it's really frustrating. And what did he ask? Like, do you reckon it didn't sign up? I don't know.
To be fair, it could be.
I don't know. It could be. Like, we'll see.
Man City waiting. Man City was waiting for Haaland, didn't it? Man City was waiting for Haaland, so they didn't go for Kane.
We'll see if FSG want to fork out the money again.
They went
but they didn't go back.
No,
they said, you know what, bun this.
They went 120 million.
No, I don't think what Sammy's question. I don't think
Shane.
I don't think. Oh, it was Shane's. I thought Sammy posted it. But yeah, I don't think Liverpool waited on Bellingham. I genuinely believe that Bellingham's price is too high for Liverpool because Haaland just left. Bellingham would have cost 130 mil. I promise you.
But I think next year he's still going to cost 130 mil. So
yeah. Like Liverpool not paying that kind of money for Bellingham. By the
But
way,
they wouldn't even.
I have to say Bellingham is so.
It would have been more.
He would fit
130,
Liverpool
man.
so well. He is so.
Yeah, he
good.
would.
It's Man United. What you're going on?
Yeah, but I think with Bellingham, I think next year, the difference, I guess, is next year. This year, the priority was to get another striker in, to get another attacking player, which was Darwin. That was the priority.
Yeah.
Whereas next year, the priority will be to get a midfielder. Klopp's basically said it already. But I also think, and I hear what you're saying, that. But I think if you started the season, let's say you started the first 4 games with Fabinho, Henderson, and Thiago, he wouldn't have signed another midfielder.
No,
I think he wanted to see if he could get those 3 playing, or even if a Harvey Elliott comes in for a game or 2 there. And if he got to the end of August with those 3, then he wouldn't have signed one. I think he would have been happy, and he still is. Arthur is not going to play many games in that starting 11. Like,
He's not going to play. Stop. Apparently, he's rubbish.
What? So yeah, he has
they
to
want
play.
to cancel his loan.
No. That's all cap. He has to play. What's it called? This whole international break, he's been playing with the under 21s, under 23s.
Oh, he didn't get caught up by Brazil, no?
No. He's legit playing the reserve.
He's dead.
He didn't have a.
Whoa! Don't use the word death on the hair, please.
Oh, for goodness.
So yeah,
pre-season. You ain't had a season. When was the last time you played? Last time you played was with Barca.
No, wait, so can we want to beat Liverpool? Of the top 6, Liverpool had the worst transfer window.
Possibly.
I'm saying yes.
Because we haven't looked at the other teams like Chelsea. What was their plan? Like, they were all over the gap.
That's what we're going to to Chelsea, because
this guy, bro, they're using deflect.
No, we're saying, obviously, how you play a transfer window is a tough one, because in the moment, that's why when Ramsey went back to Spurs, I was like, I get it. In that moment at the beginning of July, when no one had done that, and I signed all 5 players before pre-season, I get it. And I guess the timing of transfers also probably comes into it, because you get them ready for pre-season, the season's ready. But the season's also long. So if a man ain't ready for the first 3-4 games of the season, but they're ready for the next 35, then I think it's fair to compare their 38 games, as opposed to just saying, you say, all right, well, they still had a good season despite coming late in the window, last day of the window, whatever it might be. So I think the Spurs one for me is a bit, in that moment it was, and it was good for them, but I don't know if the quality of the players they signed makes it the best for me. Maybe Basuma is the only player that I would have signed as Man United, and we finished below them last year. And and for everyone else,
that's because you need that area. That's why.
No, but we signed players in other areas, and I wouldn't sign any. I wouldn't sign Longley. I wouldn't have signed Richarlison. I wouldn't have signed Perisic.
Longley.
We signed all those positions, but I wouldn't sign any of those players. And Basuma's probably the only one, but I wouldn't have him over what we actually signed. For example, would Arsenal, of what they signed, what Spurs signed, would Arsenal take any of them? Basuma, I guess that's probably the only one.
Liverpool fans wanted Basuma as well.
I guess it depends how you play. Like Perisic, because they play 5 back, Perisic is perfect. Perisic is perfect for them as a wing back. Like he literally fit. Imagine you think Conte's system, Perisic in there, and Richarlison improves that front line. Whether or not he starts every week, but they got the option now to play him. They got the option to drop Kulusevski, and
he does improve the front line. But does he improve the front line, or it's a tough one because you can't, like, Kane is the main striker in it, but does he improve the front line more than Jesus improves Arsenal? Haaland improves Man City. Nunes improves Liverpool.
Yeah, but it's tough. What you said about the long game is
begrudgingly.
The short game, like for example, Spurs are third in the league, one point off the top, because they got the signings in and ready to start from the start of the season. And whereas other teams that may have not had their signings ready were losing the first couple of games and had to play catch up. Like, so whereas Tottenham were ready from the start, and those sorts of, I know the season is long, but the start is also going to help. And I think, like last week when they were able to drop Son, they couldn't drop Son last year, impossible. But now they could bring him off the bench and he could bag a hat trick in 13 minutes or whatever it is. Like, that's all part of it, isn't it?
Leicester are so bad.
Look at that Chelsea now. So Chelsea spent the most in the window, the most in their history, and therefore the most of any club ever in Premier League history, I believe. 253 million. Fofana, Kukurea, Sterling, Koulibaly, Chukwuemeka, Aubameyang, Zakaria, Slonina.
I'm just calling out names now. Like how are these men even playing?
Well, all of them, bar Chukwuemeka and Slonina, is going to be playing. Zakaria ain't played yet, but he was obviously signed very late. Now, Chelsea signed, it's a lot of players. They got rid of Werner. They got rid of Lukaku. He's gone on loan.
Big Rob.
Alonso's gone on a free. Malang Sarr, he's gone on loan. And obviously there's some
Malang crap.
I mean, heck, they got rid of Tuchel too.
Yeah, Christensen, Rudiger, they're gone as well. Chelsea's window, how do you rate it? Because they signed a lot of players, but are Chelsea better now than they were at the start of last season?
No.
Or at the end of last season, even. I'm gonna say no.
If Tuchel was here, I would say no.
No. Okay. At the start of this season, so Tuchel was here. So at the start, not start of this season. At the end of the transfer window, when Tuchel was still here, compared to the end of the transfer window, were Chelsea better in terms of player for player? I don't think so.
No, they're not. But the reason why I'm saying no and yes is not because I'm on the fence. It's because I don't know what Potter will do with these. Like, for instance, what we saw with these players since. For what we saw with these players since, let's say, late last year till now, it's just been shocking. Like, this isn't new. This didn't start January. This started since maybe November.
Lukaku's interview.
Probably around that time. Since, let's say, October, November, it's just been very up and down. Like, the performance hasn't been balanced since then. And so I would say no. I would say we're worse off if he was still here. Potter's here now. I don't know. Potter might get a different tune. Maybe it's just this 18 months tune that happens at this club where everything will look nice for 18 months, cover over all the cracks to show that our players really are just generally all just really bad. And they are.
You see, when I look at it, I look at it and I see like Rudiger's gone. People will rave. I think Ramsey raves reviews about Rudiger. I think Rudiger's.
I think he's okay.
But I don't think he's great. I think he's very good in the back three, but in the back
he's a good left back.
But he was. It was important for Chelsea. They got rid of him.
Yeah, that's how bad we were.
They got rid of him and got Koulibaly. But I don't think Koulibaly is a huge upgrade, if at all, but a huge upgrade on Rudiger as an individual. And he may not be an improvement for what Chelsea had, because Rudiger was embedded into the team, the leadership, etc., etc. I don't know if he's going to be an improvement for Chelsea that Rudiger was. And you needed a centre-back regardless of that. Now, granted, you got Fofana. Fair enough now. So for me, I would say Koulibaly and Fofana are better than Rudiger and Christensen. And Malang Sarr.
Anything's better than Christensen, man.
So you throw those three in there, you throw those two in there, you said that's an improvement on the back. Kukurea comes in, Alonso goes, that's an improvement.
An improvement on Alonso, but Chilwell's been done dirty. Cucurella's just been pure vibes, man, since he's been there. No, nothing. He's just vibes, hair and vibes. That's it.
I signed Cucurella on Football Manager. The worst signing I've ever made in my life. I saw him for Real Madrid. It was so bad. He didn't last the season.
No, I think Chilwell's being done dirty. In all honesty, I know he's just coming back from an injury, but man came back from an injury and got an assist and a goal or something. Like, he done something. I'm done. Like, maybe that's why we bought Cucurella, because them man knew that Potter was coming. Like, them man knew something. That's probably all I know. But
potentially.
Chilwell,
But even like
Chilwell needs to be in that lineup. I'm done.
Because you look at it player for player, Chelsea are probably better than they were last year. Player for player, Sterling's in, Aubameyang's in, Lukaku's out, Werner's out. That's better. Koulibaly, Fofana, Cucurella is better than Alonso, Rudiger, and Christensen.
Yeah.
But the midfield is worse.
Oh, big problem.
Not because you've sold those players, but the players are a year older.
And they're rubbish anyway.
And they're worse than they were. And they were bad last year.
Jorginho's bad, and he's just what the guy's
not good enough. Whatever.
And Kante is just always injured.
Last minute, and it's like, so I'm like Chelsea as a whole, for me, are worse because what one of your biggest issues was the midfield, and your midfield is actually worse now than it was last year. So you strengthen the back, you strengthen the front, but I don't know if it's going to make you a better team. I really don't. And
something needs to be done about the middle.
250 million, and I'm even more sure now than I was then that you're finishing fifth. That's a bad window. I don't know. Maybe that's me, but I feel like
we were trying to get De Jong, but I knew that was never going to happen. But who can we did try to get Tuchel, I'm sure, but obviously he went to Real Madrid. Like, in all honesty, what midfield? But they're not midfielders. I'm talking about midfielder. Like, where do we go? Like, who can we get? Everyone that we want to get are all in high demand. No, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear it.
Wait, who?
I know he's going to say something silly.
I'm not. I'm just going to say I heard Navigator's out of contract.
See what I mean? See, I told you the guy's about to say something silly. Listen, for midfield, there is an issue. And who can we really go out and get? Because there's no midfielder really available.
The issue is, for me, the issue is the direction. You got rid of Cech at the start, Petr Cech at the start of your transfer window. It was a key part of your transfer dealings with that girl, what's her name? That woman, Marina. Yeah, them two were a key part of your recruitment. So over the summer, you didn't have anyone to recruit. It was your owner was getting out trying to grab man left, right, and centre. Oh, what? Jesus? Yeah. Is he going there? Is he gone already? Okay, cool. Richarlison. He's gone. Rafinha, last minute. Like, we got him. And then you don't really want to go.
You don't have him no more.
But why did they get
No, I hear that. And you know what? That goes... I say that is good and bad in terms of at least he's showing that he's wants to be part of the club. He wants to go out and do something, and he's not going to just sit back and whatever. And he's going to bring people in eventually. So I will have to see it this is a good sign.
He's not a footballing man. That's the issue. And that's
You're right.
Ed Woodward,
he's a business
no,
man.
I hear that. I hear that. I hear that. But like he said, he's just come in and now he's doing this, and this. And he's come out and he said, obviously, he's not a footballing person, but he's already said he's going to bring those people in. But obviously, he's come here now, his first foray into the club, he's going to get his hands wet. He's going to do what he's got to do now. And I don't think he's going to stay ahead of and make these decisions. I think they'll leave it to the new people that come in. But for now, at least I'm seeing something happen. Man said, let's have dinners. And he managed to bring some people in from these dinners. All I'm saying is, if Klopp gets sacked, you need to have some dinners with Klopp and them, man, and bring Klopp in if we have to. But I'm just saying, if dinners are gonna be it for him, change up the Premier League. Let's go for the better of it. Let's change it up a bit if we have to.
Why did they get rid of Cech and the lady? I don't understand.
I don't know. It's new management. Maybe they want them out. Maybe they've got a vision. Like, how do you know? Maybe checking them man left because they're like, rah, I'm here for Roman. I don't trust these Americans. Like, we don't know, innit?
Lukaku got them sacked. They wanted to keep Lukaku because obviously they bought in Marina and Cech. Tuchel didn't want him, and Todd B said, I'm going with the manager, and then Marina and that said, well, I'm out of there because obviously I got no power.
Is that what you think?
Yeah, but then
that's what happened.
So it's like, that's facts.
Yeah.
So they left because of they left because
that was a big disagreement. They wanted to keep Lukaku, Tuchel didn't, and that was a lot.
And now Tuchel's gone.
Literally a day or two later, they both left.
Yeah, but then obviously his plan is to bring in a football director. Like we know that his plan is to bring. There's a plan going forward, but I just think the issue is this summer, where there wasn't a plan in place. Matt, he didn't even know what manager he wanted. Like he fell out with Tuchel 2 weeks after the transfer window, or 2 weeks after the start of the season. Like it all went wrong that quickly, so early. Where it's like now suddenly trying to build something with what he's got. Potter has obviously had no say on who he wants, so Potter's just thrown into this squad full of players that is because they still got players that can get that can do things for them. They still got people like Raheem Sterling and Aubameyang. If they get going and they get some form, they can get Chelsea to a certain level. And I don't think the top four teams are far and away to say that Chelsea can't catch them. That's my only thing about Chelsea in the top four, and why I put them in there anyway, just because Chelsea are Chelsea, and they will be in and around there regardless of what. It's just whether or not.
I wouldn't be surprised if these are not Potter signings, because maybe he had his eyes on Potter for a while, and he said, and Potter's been like, okay, yeah, and then Tutu's. These are the players that we don't know. Obviously, we don't know. We don't know. Obviously, I could be wrong. I said trust the process. I trust something will happen. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I trust something will happen. And what can I do? Like, what can I actually do? I ain't seen nothing yet. It's only been, we've seen one game. We look a little better-ish, a bit more attacking-ish, but it's just not going in the back of the net. So one could only hope that we build on that and get better. And I think we will get there. That's all I can hope. I hope for that. Like, I don't bring a manager doesn't come in. I'm like, out. I want you out straight away. Gotta give you time, innit?
I want to bring it back to a comment that Shane sent earlier. He said, "I'm not trying to be biased, but could you not say United have had the best window considering 3 signings?
You are being biased.
And Eriksen have revolutionized our team." Now, I'm not saying we've had the best summer, but I think it would be remiss of us to exclude Man United from the discussion. They definitely had a better summer than Liverpool.
This is revolutionized. What happened to the first 3 games?
Malacia wasn't in there. What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say?
He said, revolutionized. Didn't look revolutionized to me in those games.
Well, 1 game and a half. After halftime against Brighton, we didn't concede. There's no Brighton, sorry. Boom, Brentford.
Didn't you lose that game?
Yeah, we lost the first half.
Okay.
We drew the second half.
But you lost the game, right?
This is what has come to. Oh.
No, but anyway, but in all honesty, I don't think we can just. Yeah, definitely had a better summer than Liverpool. For me, Chelsea, man, I'm happy with our window compared to Chelsea's. Chelsea fans may say now prefer their window to ours. Again, I wouldn't have any of Spurs' players over mine in the same position, so I'm comfortable with that. The Man City and the Arsenal ones are, for me, the ones that are the only ones that I can say categorically. I didn't even say categorically, but I say categorically trump ours. And that's a lot to do with, obviously, Man City being already up there, so they don't need 1 or 2 signings to actually make themselves better. And Arsenal, for 3 years under Arteta now? So those players have come in, and it's just been like a seamless kind of transition or inclusion into the side, and it's like, whereas Man United is a bit more bitty, and that's also to do with the fact of, in terms of how our transfer window went, we had a certain amount of money, we didn't have a certain amount of money. We're going for De Jong. Is De Jong available? Is he not? Is he available? Is he not? Oh, he's no longer available. Now let's go out and spend the money that we're going to spend on De Jong. So it was very unstructured in the way that we've done the deals. But when you look at the deals in the cold light of day, we have made some damn good signings. Casemiro is a world-class defensive midfielder without a shadow. Like, it's not even debatable, to the point that I'm not willing to have a debate. If you don't agree with me, don't agree with me. Cool, I'm not debating it. but he's top 3 DMs in the league without question. We're talking Rodri, Fabinho, Casemiro, and you could easily put Casemiro above that, because if he was at Real Madrid, some people would say, he's better than Rodri or he's better than Fabinho. He's at Man United now, then you might say, oh, why did Real Madrid sell him? Maybe he's
aren't all 3 of them Brazilian?
Rodri Spanish.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So for me, Casemiro, world-class signing in a position that we needed. The downside too, and when you're looking at it analytically, is, well, we wanted De Jong for so long, and then we went and got Casemiro, who are 2 complete different types of midfielders. Is it a change of direction? But then it's like, maybe, but he's better than Fred, and now we got Eriksen there doing the De Jong role, and Eriksen's better than Fred. And granted, Casemiro hasn't got in ahead of McTominay yet, but I am
He's so good that he can't even get ahead of McTominay.
I'm happy about that. Could that be
what a world-class midfielder that is?
He's playing damn good. So I'm happy that it's allowed him. Because when Fabinho was signed, and Robertson, and Thiago, for those 3, for example, Klopp was waiting until like 6 months before he embedded them into the side. Because obviously he wants them to play in a certain way.
Thiago plays straight away.
Oh, but he was rubbish at first, and he was only
he
was. He was rubbish.
In his game against Chelsea, against Chelsea, his first game, everyone was like, "Wow!"
He made the most passes. Yeah, and he never had a good game until he played Aston Villa under 13s in the FA Cup. That was his next good game. You remember that game?
Chelsea. He put Chelsea in a
and what was the next good game after that? Was Aston Villa in the
I would have smoked Chelsea, bro.
When all the players were injured and COVID. But
anyway, I would have pinged passes against Chelsea in that day, bro.
The point is, that day. Some players or some managers want to bed in players in a certain way. And I think the fact that we moved from De Jong to Casemiro, completely 2 different players, is kind of why he's not playing. Because it's like, I wasn't even really planning for you. You became available. All right, sign him then, innit? Like, he's world class. So that's why I think he's taking a bit longer to.
How did he become available? Is it because
when we got Chouameni and Camavinga and Cruz and Modric? Like, yes, like,
and he can't get games. This world class.
But he started the last game. He started the
I'm just so I don't know how he became surplus if he's that world class.
No, United went looking for him.
Yeah, but it's money. When you're like, he's 30 years old, you're 65 million or 60 million plus add-ons, and it's like, all right, yeah, we're willing to sell him because we've got 2 people that are 20 odd years old who will be world class if they're not world class already. Too many could argue that he is world class already. You know.
I hope how much you got paid for him?
60 million, yeah.
For a 30, how much?
A 30-year-old, yes, a 30-year-old world class midfielder, yes.
You know what?
How he get bumped? You saw him in the Champions League final against you.
No. I'm not talking about quality. I'm talking about price.
No, how do you get bumped when you buy that quality? You don't get bumped.
You don't pay 60 mil for a 30-year-old. Come on.
He's a world class.
It doesn't matter.
Let's stop this 30-year-old thing. We have to stop this 30-year-old thing because football's changed. Back in the days, man, we were retiring at 30, 31. You're done. Now,
every season you're going to be doing 1-year contracts for this guy.
No, he's got a 5-year, 4-year plus 1. So he's here till he's 35, and we're getting everything out of him. Like for me, anyway. Casemiro, world class signing. Martinez has come.
It's not even Casemiro. I was gonna say Tchouameni, bruv. I hope nothing good comes for that guy, bruv.
Why?
Nothing good comes for that guy, man.
About
going Real Madrid, man. Nah, but I hope nothing good comes for him, man. Nothing. Just like Draxler. Just like Draxler went to PSG. Nothing good came for him. What's now? I hope all of that Dev.
Wait, is nothing good about death again? Is he wishing death upon people again?
Wish death upon, man. No, I'm saying I wish nothing good for this guy, bro. Just like how Draxler faded, I hope the same for him too.
Yeah, what's his name? So we got Martinez comes in, and he was Arsenal's priority defensive signing. The reliable defense, David Ornstein let us know that, and Man United gazumped Arsenal for him. And him and obviously Varane, who apparently last season people were saying was finished, have made us. I mean, Varane is he's something else, isn't it? We were brilliant, but with them two together, it's a brilliant partnership. Brilliant partnership. Ramsey's getting annoyed at me being happy about my team.
No, carry on.
I said it's a Ramsey's retirement home. Casemiro, Varane,
as a
Ronaldo
transfer.
Ronaldo.
If we're going to talk about money, well, you got.
Man's trying to bring the Galacticos. Real Madrid of old.
Which and he's been brilliant so far this season, other than the first game where he was playing as a false nine. But since he's dropped back in midfield, he's been brilliant. And it's a free transfer. It's one of those ways like, how bad could it? Like, it would have to be real bad to say that's a flop signing. Like, and he's been good so far. Anthony.
So you're not crap anymore.
Anthony, we have to wait and see. Because for me, he's a talented player, but we just have to wait and see. I don't know what to actually expect from him. My whole.
So is Man United crap anymore? Because you were telling us this whole season that Man United are crap.
We're not crap.
So are you back?
So I don't understand.
So why are you?
You've been telling me you've been crap for like forever. And now you're telling me you're not crap anymore. Which one is it?
I'm answering your question. You told me we're crap. The transfer window's now over. We've got a brilliant manager. We're not crap.
You're not crap and you're not back. What are you?
We are an okay side right now. We are a competitive side, who can compete in the smaller cup competitions.
I love this.
So you're a small team.
They didn't say that.
You said you'll compete in the small cup competitions.
At the moment, we're in the Europa League. We're not in the Champions League. I don't know how good we're going to be in the Champions League.
So you're a small team. You're in the Europa League.
But you're asking me. You could just ask me what competition you're playing in. Like, do you want me to? I don't understand what you're asking me. I'm telling you, at the moment, we are going to compete in the competitions that we're in. The cup
in the small cup competition.
We're not in the big cup competition, so I can only speak to the reality of it.
Okay. So you're not back.
I didn't say we're back. I never said we were back.
A small team.
But you can only be back or not. You can't just be.
Wait, so you have a back or you're crap? That's the two.
You're either no. So you say you're crap, and now you're not crap anymore. So you have to be back. There is no.
No. But we didn't go from being the best to crap. We went through a process and then we're crap.
You're either good or you're not. You can't be in between. There's no okay.
You use two different words now. You said good and not, and now you went back and crap. Stick to the.
No, but it's the same thing. It's the same thing.
They're two completely different
words. You're either good or you're not. So you're either back or you're not.
No, but being good is not being back. When we were at our best, we were great. So for me to say we're back, we have to be great again, and we're not great. So we're not good.
So just good.
Good is we're a decent side. We're a decent side. Come the end of the season, I can have a proper assessment. But as it stands, we're a decent side. Solid at the back. Winning games, beat Arsenal, beat Liverpool, and one of the other games in between. With our first team. Outside of the first team now, that's when it gets a bit techie. You start talking about the Maguires of this world and that, and you start getting a bit sketchy. But as far as our first 11 goals and the signings we made, I would say we had the third best, personally. I personally will put Man City first. I think the Haaland one elevates them. It's like that signing. Anyone who signed Haaland this summer, you had the best transfer window because you signed the best available striker in the world.
I see how Neeks is a believer now.
No, wait, what? You said best available.
Yeah.
No, I know what you
said. That's incorrect.
But...
That's an incorrect statement.
All right, correct me though.
Left on a free, so he was the best available.
True.
Who? Robert Lewandowski.
You're right. And I think for one season, I think Lewandowski, you can say, Barca can say, oh, we got the better striker. It's a feasible argument. I'm not going to shout it down.
He's a stopgap, man.
It's a feasible argument.
You know when you have a leaky tap and you can't wait for the plumber and you just got to do something to just hold it out like a bucket under there. That's what Lewandowski is. He's just a bucket under the tap.
As a signing, it's a better signing because he's 20 odd years old, and he's so as a signing, it's a better signing. For the season, we have to wait and see. And they might meet in the Champions League, and never knows what's going to happen. But Yeah, so whoever signed Haaland, for me, I'm like, yeah, you had the best transfer window. But unless you sign Mbappe or something like that. Man City did that. So they did the best. They didn't lose any of their key players. I think Sterling's a key player, to be fair. But you lost one key player, you signed another key player, cool. De Bruyne's still there. Bernardo Silva, they kept him, which I think was important. If they lost him, that would have been, I think, a big miss. Alvarez has come in, etc. Arsenal signed all the players, barring maybe one position. I think they've got a good squad depth in terms of like Vieira when Odegaard's not there, for example. You got Tierney and Zinchenko. Ben White's playing right back, which means he's an option at centre back, and you've also got Tomiyasu. Jesus comes in. I mean, you brought up Ethan from the academy as well, so clearly your squad is much stronger. But I would put Man United above Chelsea and Spurs and Liverpool personally. But I think Man City had the best, and Liverpool had the worst.
Wait, so Neeks, with your assessment of Man United's transfers, are you changing your prediction and putting them in the top 4?
Well, we're gonna get onto that.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yeah, as you can.
Just before we move on, quick question: are you saying R1 is the worst because of the quality of signing, or because you just what is your actual reason?
I think it's on the quality of signing.
Because we got what we needed.
Well, let me answer. The quality of signing, the number of players, and three things. Sorry, quality of signing, number of players. No, maybe it's just those two. Oh, and the positions. Maybe the position. No, yeah, those are the three things I assess. So I think you got a striker. You needed one. Obviously, Diaz came in the winter, so when he was supposed to come in the summer, so fair enough. That's what the position covered. You got a midfielder in Carvalho. You got a backup right back, but they're not good. They're good, but they're not great. Like the backup right back, Trent.
He's a young boy.
Yeah, exactly. So
he's got time to develop.
Yeah, so just forget about it. It's not even worth talking about. Carvalho, good signing for the future. He ain't gonna. And I'm also comparing. What do you're trying to close the gap to Man City? So that's what I'm really judging it on. It's the level. Because if you say, well, we're still better than Man United, we're still gonna finish above. Cool, but we finished 6th last year. You're trying to close the gap. So I'm judging you based on the position you're in and the position you're trying to get to. Arsenal finished 5th. They're trying to finish 4th. Are their signing good enough to get them to finish 4th?
Them men are signing a Haaland and that.
So that's what I'm kind of judging on. I think your team is not. The team's not better than it was last year. You lost Mane.
You need to sign Kylian Mbappe.
But this is probably why I'd say that I think Spurs have had a better window than Man United, because I don't think Man United's signings is going to help you improve your position. Whereas I think Spurs are top 3 this year. I'll be surprised if they don't come top 3.
Yeah, but who finished 3rd last year?
Chelsea?
Yeah, Chelsea.
Yeah,
and I've got Chelsea as the 2nd worst transfer window, or below Man United anyway. So, I get your point, but that's kind of factored into my argument anyway, because I think they had a bad transfer window. So, if you go, I know what you're saying, but it's like Man United, let's say Man United finished 6th again, but we have 15, remember we had 58 points last year. Granted, I don't think we're a 58-point bad side, but if we get 15 more points, but still finish 6th, and Spurs get 5 more points and finish 3rd, is the argument, well, they've improved their position, therefore they're better, they had a better window, and we went up 15 points but kept the same position? I don't know. I don't know.
But the less points that you get, the easier it is to improve that point tally.
No,
it's going to be harder for Man City to improve.
You're a bad side.
No, but Man City got 98 points last season. Them signing Haaland and the amount of goals that he can bring, you wouldn't say, they're going to get 100, 102, 103 points. It's hard. I mean, they
stay win the league. If they win the league with 70 points, they win the league.
That's what I'm saying.
It's more about where you finish.
But if they won the league with 70 points, do you say Haaland improves them? I don't think so. I don't think you can say that. They're still the best team in the league. They still won the league, but you can't then say Yeah, the transfer.
Yeah, but if they get 70 points and Haaland scored 30 goals in the league, then he has.
No, I don't agree with that. I don't.
Of course he has. Because no one else has done that in their squad.
Well, in their
last
squad,
year they'd have a striker that scored 30 goals.
Yeah, but last year as a team they were better, despite not having Haaland. So it's like the Ronaldo argument. I'm not saying Haaland made them worse, but did he make them better when they're 20 points lower than last year, but still won the league because the rest of the league, because
they're focusing on the quadruple, so they got to spread the wings, win the league, get it wrapped up.
Fair enough. Listen, let's move on. This comment from David said, if Arsenal don't get top 4 this season, then Arteta is gone, and I think most people probably agree with that, and I think that would be the right decision. But as I said, everyone has Arsenal in the top 4, or everyone on the panel except Ramsey. Bianca doesn't either. So now we're going to get into the predictions and the moving of things around. Now, as we've already said in the past, things that occurred before we made these predictions.
Yeah, go on, let's make up the tyrant rules now. Let's make it so you can't change stuff.
Things that occurred before the prediction were made cannot be used as a factor to change predictions. And I give an example. Haaland was here before the season started. We made our predictions based on Haaland being here. You can't then say, well, I'm going to put Haaland as top goal scorer now because he's got 13 and 6, when your prediction was that he wasn't going to be top goal scorer despite knowing that Man City signed him. That's an example. However, if Chelsea signed Aubameyang after the predictions, that he didn't exist when the predictions were made. Therefore, you could put him as top goal scorer if you genuinely believe that he's going to be top goal scorer. For example, last year, I had Salah, and then we signed Ronaldo, and I said Ronaldo. I was wrong, but Ronaldo wasn't there when we made the first prediction. That's okay. So we can't just make it based on 7 games in, therefore I'm going to change my prediction, because then as I said last year, we can just keep changing the prediction as the season goes on, as more games go. We need to be a bit realistic.
So can I say Sterling is going to be top goal scorer?
Was Sterling signed after if Sterling was signed after the predictions, which I don't think he was.
Sterling was signed ages ago.
I believe so as well. If he was,
no, I'm just saying.
So if he was signed after we made a prediction, yes. If he was signed before, no, because you knew he was there, and you decided not to back him. So we did the prediction on the 2nd of August.
No, I just wanted to double check something, so that should be fine.
So anyway, listen, I'll start. Give you a lot of time to make your excuses. I'll keep my top 4. I'll keep my top 6. I'll keep it as it is. I think Liverpool.
If that's the case, then we can't change our relegations. Then
you can.
No, we can't because we can't. If we go by that same logic, because we knew they were there. We knew they were there. Tyrant.
We knew who were where.
Tyrants. We knew those teams were already in the league. They didn't just come up after the transfer window.
It's not about the team. Okay. I'll give you an example. If I said now, I think Chelsea's going to get top 4 because they signed Aubameyang, Fofana, Kukureya, Koulibaly. I don't know when these all players came, but 4 players. I think that's a legitimate argument because none of those players were there when we made those predictions. I think Chelsea made like 1 signing. So Chelsea as a team existed, but the players in Chelsea didn't. So again, if we're going to relegation, for example, let's say Bournemouth.
But these men ain't signed nobody, does he?
No,
who they signed that's really going to keep them up?
Who?
Like for instance, like Nottingham Forest, they signed bare players, but they're still going down.
Anyway, and let me get this what I'm saying. I'm not sure the point that you're making.
The point that I'm making is we can apply that same. If we're gonna say we can't change because Sterling was already there, for example, and that we can't make him top goal scorer. So then it's the case for these teams. These teams were already in the Prem. We can't change our relegation.
No, but the teams weren't in the Prem as they were when we made the predictions.
Okay.
Yeah, like
I just wanted to show you the holes in the tyrant. I just wanted to show you some holes in the tyrant scene.
You know exactly what we're saying because we said it for the last 2 years. You're making something out of nothing.
No, I'm just showing all the holes in the tyrant scene that we have going.
There's no holes in it. The point is, what is your justification for changing the position? If your justification is they won their first 6 games, that's a no. No, because it's a prediction. You can't base it on the results that you didn't expect to happen. But if it's based on it's a whole new team, or they sold half their players, then I think that's fair. But anyway, if you want to change Haaland, Javern, and you want to,
I don't want to. I was just asking.
Let me know.
No. I'm not changing my top goal scorer. Hell no.
Aubameyang wasn't there, so maybe you've got a legitimate reason.
No.
You sure?
If anyone changed from Haaland to anyone else, then they're losing their mind. They've lost their mind.
Now, if you want, I'll change it.
They've lost their mind.
Anthony Martial.
Say that again.
He wanted it to be Anthony Martial.
Wait, did he actually say
give
that?
It a
Anthony Martial.
Didn't.
But anyway,
bro,
I'm not
me better.
I'm not changing my top 6. Man United, because I'll tell you why I'm not changing my top 6. Man United could finish above Chelsea because of the manager sacking. But that's a collateral damage of the season. Anyone can get sacked at any point. Ollie got sacked in the middle of last season. You know, that those kind of things happen. So I'm not even gonna, even though I did predict Tuchel to get sacked first when I was on DR Sports. It's mad. I'll go, even though he wasn't. Scott Parker was the first. But we're going through the predictions, and I was like, if we're saying Chelsea's going to finish 5th, that means Tuchel's going to get sacked, and he's going to get sacked earlier than the end of the season because it's going to be going back. I said, it just makes sense. But anyway, I didn't. I got Chelsea finishing 5th, which I think is still legitimate. I think Man United will have more points than last season, but Chelsea were better than us last year, so it doesn't necessarily mean we're going to overtake them. I think Arsenal still, with their signings, they will go above Chelsea. Tottenham, for me, they had a better transfer window, better manager than Chelsea. And I think Liverpool, despite a bad start to the season, could probably still finish 2nd. Arthur's not improving them, so I'm definitely not putting them as champions based on the Arthur signing. But yeah, I'll keep the top 6 as it is.
It's the first time I trusted Pep.
Bournemouth, I'm not going to change Bournemouth for obvious reasons. Fulham might get out, but I haven't got a legitimate reason for moving Fulham out other than Mitrovic is now scoring, because I kind of not predicted, but I kind of said, well, is Mitrovic really the real deal? Now
he had like 2 attempts at it and he flopped miserably.
Yeah, exactly. So that was I predicted that he wasn't going to bang, and he's banging. I'm not going to change my prediction based on
if you were going to take Fulham out, who would you put in?
No, I'm not going to take them out anyway. But
I'm just saying if you were.
I'm mentioning that. Well, I don't know because if I could take Fulham out, then I'll probably want to make 2. But I have no idea. I haven't really thought that far ahead. There is one that I want to do, and it's actually Nottingham Forest, and I just think they signed too many players.
That's what I was gonna say.
They signed 22 players.
Yeah, I was gonna say them.
As the days went by, they just signed more and more and more and more. And I just think there's only so many you can sign to make you better before you start making yourself worse. Now I get that apparently they had to make these signings because they lost a lot of players. They had them on loan when they actually got promoted, etc., etc. So I'm not even like, it's not a fault on the owners or anything like that, but I just think they've disrupted maybe not say the dressing room or there's no chemistry. That's I guess what I'm looking at. The chemistry of the side is going to be very topsy-turvy, having signed 22 players. I think it's the most that any team's ever signed. And on top of that, since we last had the pod, Everton signed Idrissa Gueye. Everton signed, I want to say Onana. I can't remember when Neil Maupay came in. James Garner came after we did the pod as well. And based on those signings, so Everton signing 2 or 3 players, quality, especially Idrissa Gueye, I think he's a quality player from PSG, signing back. and Nottingham Forest signing too many players, I would like to take Everton out from 18th and put in Nottingham Forest. But I'll leave that up to you lot to decide.
You can have it, mate. I'm not.
You know what? I argue with it because I was going to use the same excuse to take.
Yeah, no. I'm not making any excuses.
Not excuse, but I had the same reason why I wanted to switch out. What's it called? Fulham for Nottingham Forest. Forest signed too many players, man. Too many. I really want Everton to go down, so I'm not taking them out.
It's funny because I sent a message in the chat. I think it was before. Was it before the Merseyside derby? It was in fantasy football, and I was like, Everton solid, and Ramsey's like Everton trash. They might be trash in it, but I just think they got Idrissa Gueye, Connor Cody. He came before, to be fair.
That's not
Nana. Like that midfield, and then they moved the Wolby into midfield as well. I think.
But where did their goals come from, Neeks?
No, but I'm just saying it's solid. They can get 35 points and stay up. Like I'm not saying they're gonna start ripping teams. They're not. But they bought Neil Mopai, but I'm not expecting much from him. I'm not expecting much from him. If Calvert-Lewin
big striker,
maybe. But I just think the midfield, the solidity of it, especially when you got Idrissa Gueye back. He's a player that I wanted when he went to PSG. I was like, this guy is a close.
Calvert-Lewin still there?
Yeah, injured.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my one. Does anyone got any thing against Nat? Any?
Wait, what did Nat say? What changes Nat want to make?
Nat wanted Forest in for Fulham.
Wait, and why is Fulham coming out?
Good question.
Why not?
My reason?
No, Nat, you tell me.
I don't have Leeds in my thing.
Oh, that's at Juventus. Sorry.
No, you got Everton, Fulham, and Bournemouth.
Okay. Yeah. So why Fulham and not Everton?
Because I want Everton to go down, so I need to predict them to go down and speak it.
Okay. So why are you taking out Fulham? I hear that because you've got Everton higher than Fulham, right? So if the Forest are going down, surely it's the team in 18th that stay up, not Fulham.
Can you let me speak, please? Yeah. First of all, I'm swapping out Fulham for Nottingham Forest. Yeah, I said my reason is exactly the same as what Neeks said. Yeah, because he's swapping out Fulham for Nottingham Forest as well.
No,
He said Everton.
I'm not.
Everton.
I was talking about Everton. I mean, I don't have a problem with it because I think when it comes to it depends, innit? Because
for relegations, it's a bit mad because you want to put someone in. You can't have a reason to take someone out, or else what's the point?
I know what you're saying. But
it's like I'm taking. You can't
because I know some people do the relegation. Depends, innit? Do you think Everton are finishing 18th, or you just think they're going down? Do you think Fulham are finishing 19th, or you think they're just going down?
I just think
Bournemouth is the only one who are like Bournemouth are bottom. They're going down. The rest of it's like
Bournemouth might be alright,
Bournemouth are done, mate. Maybe they're not. I don't know.
Who's their manager? Who's the Bournemouth manager again?
They ain't got one yet, actually.
Yeah, they ain't got
one.
So
who's the interim?
I think it's the assistant.
This is how we know they're going down.
I think it's the assistant turned down.
All I know is, as it stands, my relegation, I said I put them in there as in they're going down. I don't know who's going to be 18, 19, 20. I can't predict that. All I know is they're going down. Now,
who have you got? You got Leeds, Fulham.
As it stands, none of these three are going down.
They're not even in relegation, though.
They're not even near there. None of them.
Leicester's down there, isn't it?
None of them are anywhere near. Fulham are like 6th or something crazy like that.
Mate, Bournemouth has got to be close. They lost 9-0, mate. They've got to be close.
You're right, but they're not. They're in 10th place or something like that.
I don't
know. No way.
They can't be. Mate, they lost 9-0.
They're 12th.
Yeah, they're 12.
How
many no one is near there.
How many points?
Okay, they're about 4 points off.
Bournemouth on 8 points. in 12th. West Ham are on 4 points in 18th.
Okay.
So about 4 points off.
Not
Obviously, it's the start of the season. Obviously, things will change. But
yeah, I'm telling you, Bournemouth be alright, you know.
Bournemouth probably will go down. I feel like they will.
Not probably,
For me,
they will.
I think I may. It's tough. It's tough because Leeds and Fulham. I can't. I want to put Nottingham Forest in, but I don't have a justification to take Leeds or Fulham out. The only thing I can say is they're much better than I thought they would be. So I can't justify taking. I can justify putting Nottingham Forest to go down because they signed 22 man and they're just going down. It doesn't matter. They're going down. It's like how Latifi is 21st in a 20-man championship. Like it's going down. They're going down. And I don't know what the rules are, but if I could take someone out, obviously I'll have to take out Leeds because they're higher in my predictions, even though I've just predicted these three to go down. I would have to take Leeds out and put Nottingham Forest in because they're gone, man. They're gone. They're gone.
If that reasoning is accepted, my Fulham one has to be accepted. I don't care.
Like I said, if it's accepted or not, there's nothing I can do in it. Like predictions are predictions, isn't it?
You're a tyrant, bro. You're a tyrant.
Now I'm a tyrant. Like the tyrant says, the tyrant rules don't allow me to make changes like these. So
I mean, I don't have a big issue with it because I get it. There's not a legitimate reason to take Leeds or Fulham out, but it's like, as you said, the 22 players is such a big.
They signed Serge Aurier.
It's like,
brother, you can't, bro. They're going down. You might as well just say,
for example, if Man United signed Mbappe on the last day of the season, you might just be like, you know what? They're finishing, second. Like, it doesn't mean Arsenal had a bad window. No, but they got Mbappe, so you have to knock someone out. I get it.
At this point, Nottingham Forest might as well be established in 2022.
Wait, let me just quickly say, I'm fine. I'm happy with Javern putting in Nottingham Forest for Leeds because, like, if you think about it, right, you're saying, they're that bad because they signed 22 players. There's no chemistry. They're going to be a mess. They're going to be all over the place. So you slide them down the table. You think that their true position is X, Y, Z. Even if you said, I think they're going to finish 20th, all that means is that all the teams in 19th, 18th, they all go up one position. So naturally, Leeds will come out. You don't need a reason to take Leeds out. But what Nat is doing is Nat is trying to take someone out that's below 18th because of personal reasons. I want Everton to go down, so I'm keeping them in 18th. But I want to put Nottingham Forest for Fulham. No, if you want to put Nottingham Forest in there, Everton has to go up because you've got Everton in 18th.
I heard that.
You have to have a reason to take Fulham out. There has to be a reason. Whereas
I think personally, I think the reason why Kyle isn't accepting my reason is because he has a personal thing against me. That's what's happening. That's what's happening.
No,
because you didn't do this whole thing for Javan. You did this for Neeks, but as soon as I said it, you're on me. You're asking questions.
Your case is different though.
So
you've got Fulham in 19th. No, but you've got.
I also said when we originally did this at 18th.
Scored for Spain.
Was it 1-1?
I also did say 18th to 20th. I can't put them who's coming where. I just said these men are going down. So you can put them wherever the heck you want to put them on my list, but these men are going down. That's what I said. But one of them has to come out because Nottingham Forest, it's not even a prediction. It's a statistical fact that they are going down. You might as well just put R next to their name. They're actually relegated. There is no way they are not relegated. So so you could take anyone out because they're going down. That's 100%. That's an easy 1 point for everyone on this list. They're gone.
Can someone clip that? And if they don't go down, we just
they're gone. You're right. You can clip it all you want, innit? Clip it, but they're gone, man. They have to be.
Well, the panel can discuss that later. But I actually have a change in one of my predictions. I think for the first time in 2 years, I actually want to make a tactical change in one of the predictions. And it's because a certain team didn't live up to expectations in the transfer window. And they've actually detrimented their team as a whole. And that team is Chelsea Football Club. I think Chelsea have had a disastrous.
Who had them fourth?
They've had a disastrous window, and I actually think, like, I think they've got a worse striker in Aubameyang than Lukaku. As much as people, say Lukaku's bad, they're both bad. XYZ, I still think Lukaku's a better striker than Aubameyang. And all the players that they've sold, like Neeks said, they've gotten rid of Rudiger, but they've gotten Koulibaly. They've gotten rid of Alonso, but they've gotten Cucurella, so on and so forth. Like, the players might be slightly better player for player, but they got rid of players that have been at the club for years. So there's
they didn't get rid. They had no choice. They left.
Whether they left or they got rid of them, like, regardless, like, those players had at least some level of chemistry or some level of understanding. You've brought in a bunch of new players like Cucurella, Koulibaly, and Fofana have not played together. There's no centre-back pairing. There's no centre-back partnership chemistry between them. They've not played together. What's his name? Aubameyang and Raheem Sterling. They've not played together, and the dying aging midfield that they have, which they didn't improve, were used to playing with the players that have left. So not only are they bad, they are bad playing with players that they've never played with before. I think Chelsea have made an absolute meal of this. They made an absolute meal of this. And for that reason, I want to slide them down. So regardless of what anyone else has done in the window, I think Chelsea have shot themselves in the foot, and I want to slide them down 2 positions. So I currently have them in 4th, and I want to move them to 6th. So naturally, Spurs go up to 4th, and Man United go up to 5th.
2 positions.
Yes.
Quick question. You see the signings that Man United made, were they before or after we recorded the podcast?
Some are after.
Oh yeah, some are after. Casemiro was after. Anthony was after. I think that was it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Tim Krul? No, not Tim Krul.
Tim Krul?
The Bravka, sorry. I was thinking Newcastle goalkeeper.
Okay.
Man don't even know their own backup goalkeepers.
Say again?
Man don't even know his own backup goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Well,
backups like Nottingham Forest going down. I mean,
I don't accept that reasoning still. That just sounds like Kyle doesn't personally like Chelsea, so he just wants to push them down. I can't lie. That's what it sounds like to me.
If I personally don't like Chelsea, I wouldn't have had them in 4th in the first place, mate. It doesn't make no sense.
Can I make one more change, please?
What's that?
I want to slide West Ham down and slide a certain Man United up into wherever West Ham are.
This guy's
for what reason?
Because
he's sick in it. He's sick.
That's why you asked when the Man United made a signing.
That's exactly why he's asking. That's exactly why he's asking.
Man United made signings that, as Neeks said, have improved the squad to make them an okay
I don't remember saying that.
And I agree. They are an okay side. They're a small club. They're on the rise. And based on those signings, Anthony from Ajax, what a player. Who would have thought? Who would have thought?
Matt, what are you saying? Revolutionized?
Huh?
Revolutionized, yeah?
They had a small industrial revolution. You get me? I'm telling you. Crazy scenes in Manchester, you know.
And you thought of all of this with your educated opinion, yeah?
Listen. I'm telling you, I got my braids done a week ago, so they're a bit loose and it allows me to think. You get me? Like the zigzag is there, showing that the beat that my brain's ticking. I'm telling you that is a justified reason.
Or is it because West Ham's sitting rock bottom of the league table? I'm calling cap on this one.
No, because no. United.
You can't because he's got a legit reason, innit? Man United sign better players.
Yeah. You know what? I blame Neeks. He overhyped this Man United sign transfer window.
It's true. I did it.
I swear someone's always overhyping something. Didn't Neeks make Ramon change some signing a prediction a few predictions back when he said about Anthony Martial? I don't know that man.
Did I?
He sold me dreams. Did I pick Salah?
Yeah, I don't know.
We man all change it to like Ronaldo, not Ronaldo, to like Rashford and them man saying that Rashford will go to and Martial and all sorts.
I'm just saying, I need that change locked in. I'm telling you, locked in.
Yeah, that's West Ham for Man United. Because West Ham's at the bottom of the table, mate.
West Ham for Man United.
Because you started off with the argument, I want to slide West Ham down, not I want to push Man United up.
Because
it doesn't matter. It's the same thing.
You're sick.
I don't have Man United in my top 6, so obviously West Ham have to slide down and United have to slide up.
Where Man United even slide up from because they're not in your top 6. They could have been 12.
They're sliding up from the abyss, bro. Okay.
No,
I'm sorry, but
that's what I'm saying. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. The reason why I'm saying I'm sorry, it just goes to showing it. Like when the tyrrancy breaks and people are finding ways around the tyrrancy, you can't be mad. You just can't be mad. You don't want to make these strict rules, and then when the rules are being used, you're sick, you're snappy.
This happened. Like Nat, like I'll give you an example. Nat in his head right now, he knows Liverpool's not winning the league, but Liverpool ain't done that, and Man City ain't done that. And since we had the last chat to make that change, and that's what I'm preventing. I'm preventing those kind of things where Liverpool have a bad start to the season. Oh, therefore I'm changing my prediction. That's what I'm there to prevent. I give him that. A little sick place there, whatever. It's those big ones. Haaland scored 13 goals, top goal scorer. No, I'm not having it. No, sorry.
I just don't understand how man them don't have Haaland in this thing, bro.
I'm just saying
that is the most surest thing you can ever bet on.
I'm just saying my Liverpool prediction to win the league is correct. And the reason why I know I'm correct here is because the World Cup is coming. Yeah, the World Cup is coming. And certain teams who are on this momentum and they're gonna have players going to the semi-finals and finals, and that's when they come back, they're gonna be tired. They're not gonna have no chemistry. They've been beefing for the last 4 weeks in the international.
But the same goes for Liverpool.
But we don't have that many players going.
Nathaniel, you know he's not going.
I know Haaland's going, but Erling. He's gonna be bored. He's gonna be licking shots against Scott Carson in training. I'm telling you, he's gonna be bored. He might score a few goals, but overall Man City are gonna be dead.
Bruv, he's gonna be resting, bruv. Come back to fire 20 in one game.
Yeah? The first game week back here, we're gonna see some shock results. Yeah, because all the teams that usually finish bottom half of the league, big teams like Newcastle are gonna be winning games. Because their guys didn't go to the World Cup. I'm telling you.
Well, I can tell you, England are not even going to make it to the knockouts, bruv. They are going to leave in the groups. They're coming right back on the plane. So
I'm just saying
about that.
We're finishing first. You heard it on the Tyrant podcast.
Ramsey, you want to make any changes? Or you
yes, I do actually.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Man, gonna try to move Arsenal to the top 4.
I want to know how he's going to do that. There needs to be. I want to hear this. Let's see how he's going to get Arsenal up.
My first change is going to be Fulham because they've had a brilliant.
Do you think you can because Chelsea?
Whoa!
They've had a brilliant transfer window. Willian signing. No. He's come back to the Premier League. He's come back to West London, and he's changed the way that they play.
Willian.
They signed Carlos Vinicius, the former Spurs striker, on the last day of transfer window. What a signing he will turn out to be.
The man scored a 1-yard tapping against Marine and did the Mbappe celebration.
Mark my words. Vinicius, what a signing. Wow. They also signed Kozawa from PSG. I mean, if you're looking at left backs that will get into most of the bottom half of the league, then he's up there. And then, surprisingly, in the last day of the transfer, they also signed Dan James as a bit of pace on the other wing. So, all in all, Fulham had a great end to the transfer.
Nothing to do with Mitrovic banging a goal again.
So wait, where does Ramon have them again?
He's got
19.
19.
And who do you want to swap them for?
Not the Forest, maybe.
I vote we strike Ramon's predictions from first to Europa League out of the whole thing.
Listen, I think Leeds will now finish in 18th. No, wait. Where did I have them? 18th. I think Leeds will now finish in 19th. And I think in 18th, I think it will be.
I'm trying to really think about it, like you don't know, right?
Nottingham Forest.
But not by virtue of the fact they bought 22 players.
Wait, so what's it based on?
It's based on the fact that Fulham have had such a good end to the transfer window. It's pushed them to heights. I think.
Gotta find your ways around the tyrantcy. I love it.
I think Fulham are going to have a great season. And by virtue of default, it's just default. Because in my head, I had Nottingham Forest 17th, It was like, I'm a
Ramon, you're sick. You're sick.
I would like to say, if you don't approve that, you have to approve mine. I don't care.
Nah, we moved on from you, mate.
And then I need to make one more request.
The tyrant.
You're gonna slide Chelsea up. Sorry, slide Arsenal up and Chelsea down.
He's gonna change Salah.
Not even that. I mean, the Arsenal Chelsea is like, I'm still umming and ahhing about it because I still don't know. So I'm gonna leave that as it is. And what will be with that one. The one other change I need to make.
If he dare says
I'm gonna lose
it.
You can't. It's straight. It's a straight. You can't change it. You can't.
No. Let him land.
I want to hear it. Go on.
It can't be Golden Boot.
So the last change I need to make is actually.
Don't do it, man. Don't do it.
Listen, request denied.
It's based around overall squads, yeah?
Listen, request denied. Request denied.
Request
denied.
No, listen to me. Hear me out. I just feel like what Pep Guardiola is doing right now.
Yeah, what he's been doing for the last 6 years, yes.
Exactly, yeah. What you knew was going to do at the start of the season. That's why you got Man City win the league. Go on.
Listen, I'm refueling your plane in the sky. You are not landing this plane. Not today.
I want to hear it.
Because with the signing of Akanji.
Wait, what?
The signing of Akanji has changed the way that they play football. They now play out the back a lot more progressively. And they're creating goals in ways I think they will create goals in ways that I've never seen them create goals in my lifetime. And unfortunately, Merseyside, the red half of Merseyside, have not improved how I thought they would over the. I expected them.
I'm sorry. I am so sorry. No,
I literally thought it was going to happen. I was so confident. And I just felt like they were going to strengthen that front line a little bit more, bring in someone to replace Minamino or Origi. Like I thought one of them, someone would get replaced there. And because of that, I'm not confident anymore in Mohamed.
Can we stop this? We're actually just wasting time. It is not changing. Salah was here.
That's a unanimous no.
We need to strike out his draw a line right down.
I need to let it be known on podcast that I predict Erling Haaland to get Golden Boot 2022-2023 season.
You can't. You predicted Salah.
Salah was here before the prediction started, as was Haaland. You knew exactly what you were getting. As a matter of fact, am I right to say, was this before or after the Community Shield?
This was after the Community Shield.
So you already saw what they both couldn't do in their teams, and you stuck with Salah.
Neeks, not even that. Neeks, not even that. What's even worse is that when we actually made the predictions, the man said it with the utmost confidence. As if Haaland wasn't even a four. The man was buying into the bedding into the Man City way. He said it with the utmost confidence.
Once again, Neeks. Neeks with his. Yes, you're like, I think he's gonna be hard to bed in.
He says one thing and then predicts another. The man will say for the whole week, then he don't need to bed in. Salah golden boot. He'll be like, Haaland's gonna score every game this season. 50 goals. Salah captain, FPL. Like, you cannot believe a word this guy says.
Listen, I've made it known. I've made it known what I think, and if you lot do not decide to change that, then you know what.
Man said if you don't decide, listen. No, more for you, because you knew the rules. You knew your own rules. Yeah, your rules working against you now.
Ramon, that is shocking.
On a side note, Sammy says Chelsea to win Europa League.
Oh yeah. The new manager effect. That's why I put them for the FA Cup. You get me?
That means we're gonna. To be fair, that's not even a bad shout, because Lord knows if we're gonna beat AC Milan twice.
Yeah, you lot could be out still. I'm not gonna lie. That's a mess.
Yeah, we're out. We needed to win that last game. Yeah, we're out. We're in the Europa League. Right, Ramon, I guess I'll see you in the Europa League. Whoa! Let me practice it now.
Wait, aren't United in that?
So we've had Neeks, Ramsey, Nat, all bringing Nottingham Forest into relegation.
And me.
And Javan.
I thought you had him already.
No, I don't have Nottingham Forest.
For Leeds, he went it for
Leeds. Kyle also brings it. Wait, you brought Nottingham Forest as well?
No, I already had them.
Kyle already had Nottingham Forest.
Sorry, I'm looking at the spreadsheet at the moment. That's why.
Oh. No, I wanted Chelsea down to.
Yeah, I've done that already. So Chelsea's gone down to 6.
And then I had just that Erling Haaland goal.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't have anything. You didn't have...
Bad connection. Come out and come back in.
Erling.
I brought up Man United.
Oh.
I don't know about that, man.
No,
he's got a legitimate reason.
That's a legit and justified reason. I'm telling you, look, man.
Tell us what.
They're one to watch.
There's nothing to say.
They're the team to watch this season. I'm telling you, look, man. Watch that team.
Yeah, you need to watch out for us. You're not so behind us at the moment. Anyway, quickly, whilst we're here, all right. So we'll make those changes and see what the new table looks like. I can't make any promises. Dictatorships has to run.
Listen, as long as Ramon's Haaland thing does not make it in, I'm fine.
I might even just put someone. I might just put like Martinelli there or something.
I'll take that. At this stage, I'll take that.
He's
already there.
Ramon's prediction.
So right. So now so that's done. We made those changes. We'll put that on Twitter so everyone can see that. Before we go, so Nations League and World Cup coming up. So the Nations League has just completed the group stages. Scotland are up into into League A. From League B they drew with Ukraine, so they're up. Israel are up. Bosnia Herzegovina are up. Serbia are up. They beat Norway away. They beat Norway 2-0 away. Erling Haaland did nothing. I repeat.
Keep Salah.
What was it? 0-0?
2-0 to Serbia.
Oh, okay.
What's that, Mitrovic and that, innit?
Yeah, I don't know. Did he score? No. He did score. Yeah, he scored the second goal. And Vlahovic and Mitrovic scored.
Now you see I'm joking.
So that's the reason you just.
I'm joking. It's a joke.
So yeah, Serbia up, Bosnia up, Israel up, and Scotland up. Wales relegated, Czech Republic relegated, Austria relegated, and England relegated. We'll get back to England. Netherlands into the final tournament, Italy into the final tournament, Spain into the final tournament, beat Portugal 1-0 away, 89th minute winner from Morata, and Croatia into the final tournament. It was tight between Croatia and Denmark, Spain and Portugal tight, Italy, Hungary was tight, and Netherlands, Belgium. I like the way let me see something now. I like the way it all fell. I don't know if this was planned, but other than the Croatia game, the top two all played each other in the last game of the group as a decider to actually go through. Maybe that's just the way it fell. So that's, the Nation League, it's glorified friendlies, but at least it gives a little bit more meaning to the games than just in general friendlies. So that's all good. Netherlands, they're into another finals tournament. They lost the first one to Portugal. Italy, I don't know if this is their first one. Spain and this might be their first one. So we're going to get a new name on the Nations League trophy. No, it's not Spain's first one. But yeah, it'll be a new name on the Nations League trophy. Portugal and France, the only ones to actually win it. But in terms of England, relegated. They finally got some goals and got a point. In the how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 games without a win. England currently are. Should Southgate be sacked before the World Cup? I'm going to Jay first.
He should have been sacked a long time ago. Should have been sacked after the finals.
After the Euros.
Yeah.
But seeing as he wasn't, would sacking him now be a good decision, bad decision? Would it make a difference? What?
England are fucked, basically, whether he's sacked now or sacked later. Because obviously people are going to be like, oh, you shouldn't sack him before, he's England's best manager since God knows when. He's got you to a finals, he's got you to this, I don't know, man. I think it's a bit stale. Unless he changes and stop picking his favorites, I think nothing good will come this World Cup. If they do sack him now, who comes in? I don't know. I don't know.
Thomas Tuchel, Scott Parker.
Would Thomas Tuchel really come?
Nah, he'll do it for the trust me.
Might just for the tournament.
And he will win it
for the tournament.
Listen, if Tuchel or Poch comes in, I'll take that, and it's coming home. We'll be back in full force. But until then, is Southgate out, man? The guy's garbage. He was lucky. He was overachieving, and now he's at his level. He's just dead. I think he's out of ideas. His favoritism ain't getting him anywhere. Should they sack him now if he's not going to change? If he's going to change, then so be it. I'm just done, bruv. I can't. I'm finished. I'm flatlined. I just Southgate out. That's all. I don't care, bruv.
What are you saying, Ramsey?
Southgate out.
I think he's deserved his opportunity to get to the World Cup. Considering he got England to a final, the Euro final and the World Cup semi-final, qualified for the World Cup. Despite this past year being bad, I think he does deserve he deserves to have this World Cup, 100%. I think he should go after the World Cup. You're mute. What did you say?
Sorry, I said, what if they win it?
Well, this is the thing. If they win it, maybe it's the best time to go. You know, you ain't getting better than that. You might as well walk. You might as well go.
Exactly.
Sir Gareth
But where they play exciting football, get to a final and lose.
Well, but this is the thing. This is my thing with him. I think he needs to change. I think he's got a month to change. I don't think he will, because I think he will stick with what he knows. I think he stuck with what he knows for the past 2 tournaments, and it worked. It worked. It worked. They got to semi-finals and the finals. They budged the draw the World Cup. Fair enough. You got to do. You got to do. You got to do what you got to do. But when they met a team which was at their level at worst, they weren't. Croatia were not a worse team than England. They failed. Yeah. And then the Euros, they done well. Like they beat some teams on the way, and they lost in the final. The problem is now that he's got is that the system. What he was doing was staying with tried and tested players to get him through, and those tried and tested players were playing regularly for their clubs, so it was okay. They were playing for their clubs, maybe not necessarily playing the best, but they were getting through games. You've got players now at the moment like Harry Maguire, who can't get in his own club's starting 11
as captain
as captain of the club. And he just, gave an interview saying that, all the managers pick me, and now his manager's not picking him. And you've got, but this is the problem is England's weakest point is probably their defense,
specifically the centre backs.
Yeah, and so when that's the case, you need your centre backs playing. You need them playing for their clubs. You need them at least having some sort of readiness to get in. I don't know how much football Stones will get now, especially now that they got another centre back in and he's now injured. Whether how much he'll get the next month. So I think he's got a problem there defensively. And I don't think that will get results. So I think he's going to feel like he's going to have to go with a 5 at the back.
But I would say it's like England's defenders, especially centre backs specifically, are so bad, and they're not terrible players, but as a collective, they're bad. That putting an extra one in there doesn't actually make them better.
No, it doesn't.
So it's like, well, you might as well put 2 in there, and get another of your better players, which is a midfielder or an attacker, to go and win the game. That would be my mindset. But
even if he did something like Dyer and Ben White, who were just playing regularly for their clubs, they're in form or whatever, and just say, right, boom, put them 2 there.
It's like whether you play 2 or 3, they're still going to make mistakes.
Yeah, it's not going to get any. It's not going to. You're not going to get any worse. Or even if you wanted to do something like a Connor Cody, he's playing every week. You put him in whatever, and then you just choose your better attackers goes around. The problem is obviously he's going to go for a Kyle Walker, I assume, in there with it, and I don't think he looks really comfortable in that 3. I don't think he does. I
think he's declining as well. I think
as well. Yeah. But this is the issue. I think he will go with it, and I think that's going to be a detriment of it. Worked.
That's why he needs to go out.
It worked twice. I just think this year. But I guess the thing is, I expect them to get through the group because they got Iran, USA, and Wales.
Yeah,
they couldn't even get through the Nations group.
Yeah,
They're getting through this group.
But the thing is, the mindset's going to be different. The mindset's going to be different because you can't just, it's all right, we played well. You can't do that anymore. You have to win the games now. It's not about playing well. He knows that now. He has to go out. Against Hungary, if you lose 4-0 in the Nations League, you lose 4-0, but you played you lose 1-0. All right, cool. You played a certain way. You cannot lose to Iran. You can't do it. You have to win the game. And he has to go out with the mentality to win the game. But he's not gonna. So do I think he should get the World Cup? Yes. I think he deserves it. He's done enough to do it. But do I think he should change? Definitely. I think he needs to change.
I think that group stage is you should be able to play 4 at the back against those teams, and win. So you got 3 games. Because I don't think they got any time for any warm-up games. But you got 3 games where you can actually say, we're gonna go out and attack, and let's see how it works. Because if you figure out, we're getting exposed at the back, and we're winning 3-2 against Iran, Wales, and USA, then fair enough. Last 16, you go back 5, because you know that if you play a better side, they're gonna beat you 3-2 as opposed to losing 3-2. But you should beat them whether you play 5 at the back, 3 at the back, 4 at the back, 2 at the back. You should be that much better. So you might as well do that again in those 3 games as like experiment / preparation for against better sides. Because you saw against Italy, I don't think they changed the formation, but when they brought on the more direct attacking players, because Foden for me is a brilliant player, but he's not a winger. He's a winger in Pep's system, because Pep wingers aren't really expected to take on a man one-on-one, get down the line, crossing the ball. It's much more about the interplay. But you bring on someone like Saka, who is a winger, who's going to run at a man, try and beat him on his inside or outside, whatever it is, and you see what happens. Obviously, Mason Mount came on with the energy and changed it. And I just think, like, he has to release the attacking players if England's going to have any chance. And I say any chance, they're not winning.
That's England's strength. England's strength is their attack.
He played to the strengths, not trying to overcompensate on the weaknesses. And that's what he's doing. He's overcompensating on their weaknesses. But I don't think he should be sacked, because I think it's too late. I think it's too, you're right. If you're going to sack him, maybe not after the Euro final, because that's like you got to the final.
Right after the final. Right after.
When you lose your first 3 or 4 Nations League games, something like that, you stay all right.
Right after it. If they're not sacking him now, as soon as the finals is done, competition lock off, sack him.
What competition? The World Cup?
Yeah.
No, I think he's gone after the World Cup, because I can't see him changing. The only way he stays after the World Cup.
No. There's no way. No, this is not happening. Let's not put it into the universe. He's gone. He's gone. If he's not gone now, he's gone at the end of the World Cup. That's it. There is no Southgate after the World Cup.
If England win the World Cup and he wants to stay, then they'll let him stay.
No. Mutiny.
If he's playing, if he starts playing this great football, like if he plays football like England in the last 25 minutes of the Germany game, for example, throughout the World Cup, and they get to a semi-final final, then I think they're not going to sack him. I don't think.
Then they're wrong.
He gets sacked if they play the same football, and I think they have to. It depends how you get knocked out to, but I think semi-finals is their target. Like, you have to be going for the last 4. But if you get knocked out in the quarters to Brazil, and you played good football, you say, "Oh, it wasn't so bad." But if that's the case, it gets to quarters. I mean, just change it. Just change it. Just try something else, because you're not winning on them anyway. Good football, bad football, whatever. Just change it. But I think he's gone after the tournament. I can't see them winning it. I can't see him changing his style of play.
I never understood why another national manager would want to manage another national team, like how Capello managed England. I don't understand.
Like how Iceland managers managing Jamaica,
yeah.
Like, I can understand for that, because obviously it's obviously they don't have the managers or whatnot. But I just find it crazy. Like, if you're like Italian, you'd want to manage Italy because obviously they're up there.
Well, the thing is, generally, the manager is of the country that they manage it. That's generally what happens. But Luis Felipe Scolari, where is he? Is he Brazilian?
I think he is, isn't he?
But he managed Portugal as well and Brazil.
Yeah, he managed both. Yeah.
But obviously
that's crazy. I don't know why you'd want to do that. I just want to manage your.
Portugal's been colonized by Brazil, so he could well be Brazilian and Portuguese. I have no idea. As far as I'm aware, he's Brazilian. He managed both of them. But there's only there can only be one Italian manager at any one time. So if Capello wants to manage international football, and then that job comes around, you're like, can I turn it down? I don't know. But I think England are going to go for. Well, they want to have an English manager. I think every nation wants to have a manager of their country, and I prefer it that way, because you are competing country against country. So everything should be it's our best manager and our best team against your best manager and your best team. That's the way it should be. But
it should be.
Has a non manager from a different country ever won a World Cup with another? I don't know if they have,
I mean, where is Scolari Brazilian? He's definitely Brazilian.
Yeah, he's Brazilian. Yeah.
Okay. He won the World Cup. So the last few World Cups, you got Deschamps, you got
Low.
Yeah,
like him low.
That's 20. So 2010 was Spain. Yeah, that was
El
Bosque. 2006 was Italy. He was the manager of Italy. Lippi,
yeah.
2002 was Scolari. 98. Who was the France manager in 98? Can't remember. But
Jacques, I think.
Yeah, something like
that.
He's French.
94. Who was 94? Brazil manager. He was probably Brazilian.
Brazil. Pereira.
Yeah, Pereira. Yeah. So I think it's probably.
Yeah, it's not. It doesn't happen often. Yeah, if at all, if it's happened at all.
Yeah. So that's what I think. It's like you're not, and I don't know if that's the reason why England's never won it because the reality is they maybe it was. Maybe if they got Harry Redknapp in at a time when he was playing some good football, maybe they got better. I don't know. But it's like
I think they should have picked Harry Redknapp instead of who did they pick again? Was it Big Sam?
No, I think Harry Redknapp was a bit later on. I mean, a bit before that.
Harry Redknapp.
No, if they picked,
was that Capella?
Was it Roy Hodgson?
Hodgson. Yeah.
Hodgson. Yeah. Oh, flip, man. If we had Harry Redknapp, stupid tax nonsense.
I think it was before. I think it was Capella.
It was Capello, and then then it would have been it was like, oh, should it be Harry Redknapp? But then it ended up being Roy Hodgson.
Harry Redknapp said in an interview that he thought he was getting the job. He said he thought he had the job.
I thought he was getting the job.
He said
he
should have had the job.
Was it the court case thing?
Yeah, but he said he phoned Joe Cole and said, "Look, I seen you playing in France, and when I'm manager, you're coming with me to England squad and get the job."
The biggest mistake they've ever made, man.
And then they got Big Sam, and then one game later he got done on the bung. Like you might as well just got Harry Redknapp with the tax evasion thing, isn't it? Like, exactly. You think that's why England's so pretentious? No other nation would care that their manager is in some kind of.
That's the best manager for the job. That's
the manager for the job. That's it. As long as you're not in prison, you're available to coach. England's it's like they try and act so morally
correct.
Forget about it. Just get the best man for the job in it.
But the issue is, if they do sack Southgate, which English manager would they hire?
Because
the best one could be at Chelsea.
You can't get Parr.
You can't.
You could potentially get Howe, depending on how
get
Newcastle are doing in January.
Graham Potter's going to be available.
If England approach Potter, do you think he would leave?
No, he ain't. He ain't leaving. No, he ain't leaving. No way.
Guys, you're not understanding this. You're saying he ain't leaving. What he will be? He doesn't have to leave because he would already been fired.
Yeah,
he'll be available.
He'll be gone. They might as well just wait. They might as well just keep Southgate. They might as well keep Southgate. Wait till he goes and just snap him up.
Well, I have to think Potter wouldn't. Yeah, but Potter wouldn't leave because I think he knows that when his time at Chelsea's done, I think he's still got to get it. Yeah. If you don't go for, you're gonna go Scott Parker.
Listen, I'm going to bed, man.
Mate,
it's just the names like calling are just crazy.
It'll be Lampard.
Gerard Lampard, isn't it? Gerard.
Jesus Christ.
Before we go quickly, predictions. North London derby at the Emirates. Arsenal got some injuries apparently.
Nah, I feel like that.
Oh, okay.
I think whoever's playing at home wins, man. Like it's gone to that point now.
We've only lost once. We've only lost at the Emirates once in the last 29 home games against Spurs. Yeah. We don't often lose to them, so I think we'll win.
It's gonna be a draw.
At best, Spurs get a draw. At best, but
it's gonna be a draw.
I think Arsenal win. They had a few players that didn't go international duty.
2-2 draw.
I'll take a 2-2 personally, but I think I'm gonna go Arsenal. I'm gonna go Arsenal 2-1.
Need Conte to show his title credentials and win that game comfortably.
It definitely won't be comfortable wherever it is. It definitely won't be comfortable.
It won't be, but if he wins it comfortably, then the title credentials are on the table. He's coming for you, Pep.
Would you like to change your prediction?
Well, for Tottenham to come first.
Yeah.
Nah, they won't come first. I can't change it anyway.
I'm at the Emirates on Saturday. I need to go see what this noise is about. Apparently, the stadium's rocking. I need to go test this out, mate.
I'm gonna be down at DR Sports, so very, very close to.
Yeah.
What time is it?
12:30.
Oh no, so I'm on the Saturday show, so it's like 2:30.
Just after.
Yeah, but obviously I'm local, so I'll probably hear a pin drop when Spurs score.
Ramon, do you say you're going to the library on Saturday?
Mate, it's not library anymore, mate. I need to bring my AirPods. Mate. It's rocking there. They got ultras down there. Arteta ultras. They come in all black.
I'm
screaming.
Wait, did I actually?
Yeah. There's about 30 of them. They come in all black and they sit in the North Bank.
And they got players.
Noise, yeah, bare noise. Yeah.
What's it called? Is the Manchester derby at the Etihad or at Old and Leakin Trafford?
It's at the Etihad, which I think ironically gives us a chance. Our record at the
speaking
of
the Etihad,
the last 5.
Speaking of the Etihad, did the Sidemen and them YouTube people have more fans out and filled up a stadium more than City can?
Where was that match?
Is that Wembley?
It was at Charlton.
No, was that Wembley?
It was at Charlton.
Wherever it was,
I'm telling you.
I think Soccer Aid is probably at Wembley.
Yeah.
But wherever it was, that stadium was packed. That stadium was packed, and there was noise for these YouTubers. And you know what? I was saying, I think I was saying it to Carl. I said, I don't think, like, from now on, it's going to be very hard for me to call professional footballers crap, because after watching that game, that goalkeeper, was it Cal the Dragon? Oh my! Listen, the football that I saw was just horrendous. So I can't give it.
I need to step up my YouTube game because I should have been in goal, man. That was
young Philly's goal, top bins. Wow, that was actually a good goal. When you see how he worked it was actually a good goal.
Oh,
I give him that.
Yeah, young Philly's
he dribbled through a few people.
No, he the way he got the ball and he shifted onto his right and went bow.
There should have been a few red cards in that game anyway, because those tackles were wild.
Yes, speed should have got sent off.
10 seconds, man, right into KSI.
Oh my goodness!
But on the Manchester derby, what are we saying? At the Etihad,
3-1 City.
Haaland hat-trick.
Haaland ain't scoring. That's my prediction. 0 goals for Haaland.
You still getting that, Neeks?
He's gonna be.
Haaland ain't scoring. Just let it go, man. Say Haaland is scoring. I'll score every game. Just say it.
Well, I captain him when I think he's gonna score, and I won't be captaining him this weekend.
Martinez will be in Haaland's
rise up their
pocket.
ranks, then boy.
I'm captaining Salah this weekend.
Martinez.
You don't even have him. You don't even have him.
I do.
Why?
I didn't take him out last week.
Why?
I kept him in. They're playing Brighton at home, man. No Potter.
New manager bounce.
No manager bounce. Oh no, they're right.
No manager.
Salah can't even get a contribution in a 9-0 victory, mate. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, and he'll get one in this 9-0 victory. Salah captain, Trent Vice. Just in case.
He'll be fresh.
I think Man City will win. I think they might nick it. I'm gonna go 1-0 actually. I'm gonna go 1-0 City.
I'm gonna say 2-1 Haaland. Brace.
I think it'll be comfortable victory for Man City.
Start making
comfortable 1-0. That's fine. I'll take that.
Neeks, start making the missing posters from now. Start typing. Get Canva up now. Start making the missing posters. Type Lissandro Martinez missing. Last seen in Erling Haaland's back pocket. Please put it
that's
there.
not how it works, man. You can't.
Print it out.
A striker can't pocket a defender.
Print it out.
And Martinez, you wish you had Martinez this season because your defense has been diabolical, man.
Listen.
I'm gonna go.
I'd rather have
3-1
Nat Phillips start over that Martinez guy.
What happened to Nat Phillips actually? Nat?
He's fifth choice. He's fifth choice.
He
came back from Bournemouth, came fifth choice.
You should bring him up the ranks, man, because put him at right back.
He started the other day.
Because that right back you got there right now is treacherous.
Better than your whole defense.
Oh,
I can just say one thing, yeah. Can I just say one thing? Just one thing.
No.
It's not about Trent. It's not about Trent. You see that William Saliba guy, yeah? You lot need to stop the hype on that guy. Yeah. I'm not saying he's crap.
Are you scared that he might be better than Van Dijk?
No, not even that. I feel like you lot are violating by comparing him to Varane and Van Dijk.
Yeah.
Varane and Van Dijk are miles ahead of this Saliba guy. You know, these are big boy players that you're comparing.
The guy did a top 10 Premier League centre backs at the start of the season. And Varane wasn't even in the top 10. I said I couldn't believe it.
People.
Wasn't that latest?
He didn't have Saliba in there either, but he had Gabriel. I was like,
people saying Rolls Royce engine next to Saliba. Allow it.
Listen, Saliba is a very talented.
No. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's crap. I'm just saying there are good centre backs and there are great centre backs. Professional Champions League winning centre backs. Saliba is not on their level yet. Yeah, he's okay. He's good. He walks into any side, even United. But
I'll be honest. I'll be honest. I'll be honest. He surprised me. I did not.
Wait, Saliba who?
Konate.
That's a good question. I don't know. You know, I'll take Saliba. I can't lie. I think he's a bit.
Yeah, the thing is, he's not rubbish. He's not rubbish, but these guys need to calm down, man. Calm down a little, just a little.
You say you're surprised. Why are you surprised? Because he was sent on loan for 2 years, whatever it was. Because the reason why I asked that, because if you signed, is he not back-to-back like defender of the year or something in France?
He won last year, not the year before.
Okay, but if you signed the best centre back in France, would you be surprised by the performances, or is it the fact that you had him and you didn't play him for 2 years and that's why you're surprised?
Yeah, I mean it's a bit of both. I think we signed him. Maybe the first year we didn't necessarily expect him to maybe get in the team, but all the talk last year was that he was going to start in Arsenal with Gabriel, and then we signed Ben White, and then he went on loan again. So that at that point you're probably thinking, you know, what is
he ever going to get in?
He wasn't signed by Arteta, so you start to think, you know, does the manager fancy him? Does he not? You know, 2 years out on loan. So then you think, but then he comes back in. First of all, he gets to start. Maybe there was a bit of luck in there in the fact that Tomiyasu was injured in preseason, so he got a whole preseason to play with Gabriel at centre back, and then Ben White. But I'm not saying I didn't expect him to ever be good, but I didn't expect him to be this good straight away. I didn't expect him to go to Crystal Palace and put in a performance like that in the first game of the season when you're next to Ben White, who isn't a natural right back. So you're already playing with someone who's not naturally a right back. I'm thinking already he's in for a tough game already, and then since then he's progressively just been steady all the way through.
Scored an own goal, got ripped by Rashford.
Yeah, listen, it's naturally there's gonna be mistakes in there, but mate, the fact that like I'm already thinking like he's better than Ben White at centre back, and I didn't think he will be. But I didn't think he would be. I didn't think he would come in straight away, be better than Ben White straight away. Like, I expected there to be a little bit of a time, a transition for him to get into that starting lineup. But the fact that I can't see Ben White getting back in ahead of him.
Yeah, definitely not ahead of him. Like it's Gabriel who he's fighting with.
Yeah, and I just like
Gabriel is a calamity.
Because Arteta left-footed players on the left side and right-footed on the right side. That's how he's wanting to play.
What, is Saliba left-footed?
No, he's right. He's right-footed.
The goal that he scored, was that not with his left foot?
Yeah. But it's like I just didn't and his threat from set pieces is there already, and like I just didn't. that game. I think that game against Crystal Palace was the one where I thought, right, okay, like he's a very good player. He's a very good player. And there's
how old is he, by the way?
22, maybe.
22, I think. Yeah.
Did him and Fofana come from the same club? No.
Yeah.
So he's got
Yeah.
enough time to reach that. He's 21.
Yeah,
I'm way old. Whoa, I'm 2 years older than him.
Yeah, step up your game, bro.
He's a young boy. So he's got enough time to reach that. He's got 100% time to reach that level.
Listen, he's got the. He has got the ability to be world class. I don't think there's any doubt about that. But then it's like Fofana also probably has.
Is he French? Is Fofana French?
Yeah.
France winning the World Cup.
France got better. Like, remember they had before.
France has got players for days, man.
Meccano was supposed to be the one.
He's crap.
This is what happens when they colonize.
By the shield, the left-sided centre back from Monaco. I think he's still at Monaco.
Half their players ain't even French, man. They've just robbed them from Africa and gave them French passports, man. I'm sorry, that's exactly what they've done. Because how? They just have players for days. They're picking. They got France is cheating, bruv. They got the pool of Africa to pick from, and France. It's cheating.
Kanate is French as well, isn't it?
This is what I'm saying. These players they're not French. This is why the African teams are not up there like how they used to be, because all their players are being robbed.
The same could be said about the Netherlands. The majority of their black players are from Suriname.
Or
mate, the same could be said about England, mate.
Exactly.
Yep.
So
no, but
France. Final point.
Yeah, but France is mad though.
At least my final
because
point.
Just before you say that, I'm just saying, you say France, you say that just like England, but France, these men don't have a choice to play for them others. They're just French. I don't think they have dual nationality. These men.
Yeah, but that's the same in England. These men are born in
France.
No,
these
men are born in France.
Yeah, a lot of them are born in France.
They're born in France, but they've just been
they're first generation French.
Come up through but
the England ones, they decide to play. They decide to play. Even they have a choice because they got the dual nationality. You know, like. No, but it's like Musiala. He could have played for England, but obviously he chose Germany.
Yeah, but it's like what's his name? Let me double check it.
But do any of the France players have a choice, or are they just French?
Koulibaly, he was born in France, but he plays for Senegal. So they do have a choice, but they choose to play.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I just thought that they just didn't have.
All of the guys coming through now are coming through the French academies. Yeah. So naturally they're going to feel French because they're playing through the under-23s and the under 16s or whatever. So I think France are smart by getting them in the academies early so that they don't have a choice, so that they already think that they're French.
They think that they're French. but it's like but you also need to wise up for yourself, because it's like, okay, Kanate could play some. He can play some good games for France, and you know, Meccano, he's playing at the moment, and Saliba for fun. But there's only so many that can play. You think, how much of a career am I actually going to get? Like, I might in the end I get 20 games for France. And if it falls in a World Cup year, you've got a chance of winning a World Cup. But outside of that, there's so many coming through, I'm not going to make it. But it's like England with the right backs. And it's like, Wan-Bissaka, what are you waiting for? You're not getting in.
That's why people like Lamptey.
You're not getting in. Lamptey, you're not getting in.
That's why he went to Ghana.
Zaha, he made a few appearances for England. He's like, yeah, this ain't happening. And he went off to Ivory Coast. If you want to have a proper career, then you have
how? I swear, once you play, that's it.
You only play friendlies.
Oh, friendly. Oh, okay, cool.
But they've changed it. I think if you play a certain amount of games before you're 21 or something like that, then you can still change. If it's not too many games before 21. But anyway, yeah, we're going off on a tangent. But yeah. So everyone's saying Man City except... Oh, no, everyone's saying, including me. I just said no, Haaland. Okay. So Man City going to be top of the league. Arsenal will still be top. And Spurs will have lost.
So, Neeks, just to confirm, you're saying Man City beat United on the weekend?
1-0. No goal from Haaland.
So they're going to beat Man United?
You just like the sound of my voice or something?
I want you to confirm what you said.
I can neither confirm nor deny your question.
So you can't give a straight answer. That's what you're saying.
No.
But you just gave a straight answer.
I can only give a gay answer.
Shocking. Absolutely shocking.
Listen, guys, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's hope and pray that Erling Haaland survives the season despite Javern's predictions.
I never.
We'll see you soon.
Leaks.
Justice for Trent.
What?
Justice for Trent.
Wait, we're forgetting the Midlands derby. Leicester Forest. Huge derby.
Relegation.
Battle for relegation.
Why? 3-3. 3-3. That's what I
Can they even
Justice for
score?
Trent.
like the video.
Justice for Trent. Alright, put up.